What is going on, guys? Hope everybody's doing well. What's up, Genghis? If you're still here, I think you chatted like an hour ago. Undead, hey, how's it going? Sabanasu, yes, on the YouTube. I don't know. I just kind of want to do something for the folks on YouTube that don't do Twitch, because I know that a lot of people just don't care for Twitch at all. So I figured I'd pop over here and see how everybody's doing on the YouTubes and give our viewers on YouTube a stream. But I don't know that it'll be permanent because literally all day has been stressing over, okay, how do I get something to have a beat in the background? Is it copyright music? What can I have on the stream? All that stuff is just, it's super stressful. I really wish that they would be changing something in YouTube. But like I said, I just really want to do something for the folks on YouTube that support us there. So I figured I'd do my usual Wednesday here and see how people are doing. So yeah, surprised I'm streaming on YouTube. I am too. I am too. Just waiting for a strike. Just streaming over here and waiting for a strike. And that's really unfortunately the problem that I face is that YouTube is just, with it being pretty much one of my primary sources of income, it's like you can't risk it. And with everything kind of weighing against the actual content creator, it's super scary. So we'll see. We'll see. Good morning from Asia. What's going on, Tommy? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. We'll do our best to demonetize you. Don't. I don't know. Is YouTube I know that Twitch is whatever you have in your chat, you can be held responsible for. I don't know if YouTube's like that. I haven't heard any cases where people get in trouble for their chat on YouTube. The fact that Twitch is that way is beyond me, but sometimes a lot of things don't make sense, unfortunately. Hey, I finally managed to catch a stream by staying up late. Oh, I'm sorry, Yari. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been quite a while. What, shoot, 2 months? I don't know, month maybe? I don't know. It's been a while. Nagisa, how's it going? I thought it was a Twitch notification, but it was on YouTube. Scary. Why is this here? I will say I've already gotten pretty much my usual viewer count for Twitch in no time. I knew that I'd probably get more viewership on YouTube just because that's technically where I'm building up. And like I said, a lot of people, unless you like games and stuff, and a lot of people don't like Twitch. I don't like Twitch personally. I just use it because it's the least scary to stream on, unfortunately. I have been watching Twitch recently. I'm watching Maximilian Dude last night play Ragnarok, God of War. I really badly want to play it. So badly want to play it because I love the first one a lot, and I'd love to play the new one, but I don't want to get a PS5. I know it's on PS4, but I don't know, it looks so good on PS5. Halt, just want to congratulate you on your Mushoku Tensei light novel reviews. They are awesome. Thank you so much, Halt. I appreciate it. The support is... Gosh, the Mushoku Tensei crew is just way too good. It's way too good. And again, I get an experience with a lot of different source material readers through my anime coverage. Obviously, every single season, I get 30 different people, 3 different communities of 30 different source materials that just, they all act different. For instance, right now, Imminence and Shadow folks... I love a lot of the support from a lot of the people, and this does not mean all of them. It just does not mean the entirety of everybody that comments on Imminence and Shadow. Just there's some weird people that just want to reveal everything, and it's just let me enjoy the show. Love people are phenomenal, and Mushoku people are just fantastic, and we have a lot of really great people like Adrian and stuff that are keeping my for the sake of the folks that are reading along with me too, are keeping the comments safe, which is great. So, but yeah, thanks for watching those. I have, next week is gonna be insane. I still need to edit it though, but next week's, the final chapter was really good. I just want your opinion. Do you think Odyssey is better platform than YouTube? Nothing's better than YouTube, unfortunately. I'm planning on actually setting up for Odyssey to copy over my content, because I want to put my stuff on everything now that I'm have a better ISP. which, by the way, it's doing good. Now they got a better ISP. I want to put my content on everything, and Odyssey will be another one of them. But I've been putting my stuff on Rumble, and thankfully they have a way to direct copy. But I love to put on everything. But unfortunately, yeah, YouTube has the audience, it has the users. Nothing's really going to go up against YouTube, unfortunately. So that's just the state of things. It does look like Rumble's taking off here recently, at least for live streaming for a lot of content creators. But that's just that whole problem with this restrictions on YouTube. It's pushing people over to other platforms, and that's a good thing for those platforms. But one way or the other, whatever way you are politically and whatever, it typically means that mostly people of this one political belief is going there, and it makes this divide, which I really don't like, unfortunately. Visoth agreed. I don't know what I don't know what you're agreeing to, because I'm just blabbing off. This is good though. I'd rather have an entire stream of talking to people, to be honest. I have a couple things built up, but if we just talk, then that's it. YouTube mobile live chat is better on PC than YouTube chat. I will say, like, whenever I'm watching somebody on YouTube, it's super easier. Just the apps work better for me. But yeah, like, I hate Twitch. Like watching live Twitch. Of course, that's also because on Twitch, the ads are terrible, and I hate to subject people to that stuff. And I appreciate everybody that's priming and subbing to me there, but it sucks. Like they need to have a system where the ads don't take over what you're viewing. Like I said, I was watching Maximilian dude last night play Ragnarok, and I'm like, they're in the middle of an important cutscene, and then suddenly I'm getting an ad, and I'm like, here's the next 5 minutes as I'm watching an ad. I can't watch what was happening in the story, so I'm gonna turn it off because I can know I'm missing story context. It's crazy. Yeah, I had to go back to normal sleeping routine. Oh, I'm sorry, Yari. If you need to go to sleep, go to sleep. Unless you want to be here, that's fine. Was busy past few months, as I was busy getting my articulated truck license. Passed on the other day. Nice. Grats. That's awesome, dude. I love your comparing Mushoku Tensei light novels to anime. Could you also compare it to the manga? Oh gosh, we're gonna talk about the manga again. we're not. The manga shall not be mentioned here. It is not allowed to be talked about here. The manga has more Bloody Can't following Rudy around, stuff not mentioned in the light novel. I don't know what that means, so I'm not gonna ask. Eventually, when I finish the light novel, and I finish Roxy, and I finish Edis, I will probably read the manga. It's just like with Spice and Wolf. I have the light novels and everything, but I'll end up reading the manga eventually. So, Odyssey also has a live stream too. Yeah, it does. About my Mushoku Tensei reviews, just echoing the praise. Thanks, Visoth. I appreciate it. Really love the support. I'm waiting to read volume 3 to 10 of Jobless Reincarnation. Sadly, I didn't know book 3 I got was censored one, not the fixed one. Yeah, when I got a copy of 3 through Amazon, it was the fixed one, thankfully, but it was destroyed. So I ended up sending it back to Amazon. I should have kept it at this point, because it just doesn't seem like they want to reprint 3 at all. Like 3, 7, and 9 have been absolutely a pain to get. Those are the last 3 I need to get, and I'm fully caught up. Do you read any Korean manhwas or webtoons? No, I did once. I forget what it was called. It was like one of those, like, Death Gang ones. And I did read a little bit into the one that's getting adapted that's everybody's freaking out about. Solo Leveling. I read a little bit in that one. I watch people on Twitch that I subscribe to. And that's what it turns into. And that's why I think Twitch is so in a bad state it is. Discoverability, and that's another reason why I want to come back to YouTube, is discoverability is so much better here. We have been getting a lot of new people on the Twitch channel, but it's just non-existent. Unless you stream 24 hours straight, they don't bump you on Twitch. So it's kind of, it's a pain to get any discoverability there. For live streams on YouTube, it's nice. You can go back through the live stream. That's what's nice too. I love getting caught up. Even Rumble does that, where you can get caught up. So if you miss something or you put it on standby, you can get caught up on the conversation. It's not stuck to live. Hey, hello, Hellers fan. I love Eridus. Oh my gosh, chat's moving too fast. Hold on. Bofuri Season 2, I'm hype, and Bofuri Season 1 was the first time I watched seasonally anime. Bofuri was good. It wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but it was good. It was cute. I'm definitely looking forward to the second season. Kumiko Kuma Bear too, in the same boat as that one. No reason to read the manga ever. We were on Twitch, one of my Twitch live streams. We went and we looked at the manga for a little bit, which was kind of scary because the site I was using was like had stuff on the screen. But yeah, it was just like what it just every scene felt so weird. Like some of the context of some of the scenes were completely lost. It seemed very more comedic than anything. It was less grounded, it felt like. So worship Eris. There's Adrian right there. I must have missed him earlier. Adrian's my personal safety guard of the spoilers for Mushoku videos. Huge props to Adrian. Everybody give him high fives. Thought they didn't buy it from Amazon. Thought I didn't buy it from Amazon? I don't. I haven't bought from Amazon. Well, that was the last purchase I made. Okay, you got me, King. No, that was like a year ago. Okay, I said 2 years, didn't I? I don't remember. That was the last thing I actually bought. And I returned it because it was destroyed. But no, that was from a third party on Amazon. That wasn't directly from Amazon. So it's technically not buying from Amazon. Though they did get a cut. By the way, what's the single biggest donation you've gotten so far? And does Stream Elements link take less of the cut compared to Super Chat? Super Chat takes a huge chunk. The Stream Elements goes through PayPal, and PayPal takes... How much does it take? 10%? I don't remember. But yes, the Stream Elements is the least take off of it, so... I need 7, 9, and 10, and 16 for Mushoku. Actually, I'm doing better than somebody, at least. I'm doing better than somebody, at least. I've got more than somebody. The third book will need to read it all. That's how it is. Well, book 7 and 9. I'm waiting for book 6 of Jobless Reincarnation. The timing timing to order books 11, 12, and 15. I could have bought them. Yeah, I'm at the point now where it's like I buy as fast as possible because it's just they're going out of stock so fast, and I always fear another 3 where they never reprint it. That's like Roxy. I'm at the point now where I'm afraid that they're never going to reprint Roxy, and that really sucks. I cannot wait to read that one. Book 11 to 16 back in summer, but then I can't read them because I lacked 10 before. You just gotta go. You gotta sidebar. You gotta get around it. Get a digital version of it or something like that. And that's what I'm gonna have to. That's what I'm pretty much doing with like what I did with 3 was I got a digital version of it because they never got it to me. By the way, that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Also got season 3 announcement. Still waiting for the movie. Yeah, that's super hype. Actually had it in one of my videos, didn't I? Yeah, I did. I talked about it in one of my videos. You're making me think like some big news came out that I forgot to cover. But no, yeah, I covered that on a video. I'm pretty hyped for it. I still need to watch the movie though, and I think Crunchyroll should have that available over here. We'll have to see. I just need 12 and I'm good right now. See that we're getting a breakdown. We need to do like a we need like a chat on Discord that's specifically for people to help each other find where they can buy certain volumes so everybody can get everything. Wano, finally caught the live chat again. What's going on? Hope you're doing well, Wano. I found a lot of people who don't read Mushoku Tensei without having it physically. Can't understand that myself. And that's the thing. It's like, even though I don't read the physical, like most of the time what I'm doing is I'm on a computer and I have a PDF on this side and my notes on this side. So I'm not actually reading it physically. The first 2 volumes I read physically, but I'm buying them anyways because I want to have them like physically on my shelf. So plus I'm supporting them, so that's a good thing too. But even though 7 Seas does not want to support us by having them reprinted, I still to this day, why they didn't have everything reprinted from Mushoku Tensei the moment by the time that the series ended its first season is beyond me. Like there was so many people going, where do I buy it? Like I want to buy and read this, and nobody could buy it, and me too. I was like, what the heck? Why would you not have these available? And I heard that after the first part, that was the same issue. It's like, you guys are leaving money on the table. Like your marketing department needs to be fired like right now, or at least your planning department or something. Whoever's at fault. Haven't watched any videos or anime today. I just got home before the stream started. Oh, well, pop right on here. No, you could take a moment, just pause me, and then go over there and come back because we're not on Twitch right now. Just make sure to turn on 2x speed so you can get caught up. I find it cool. I found you live. Was just watching your newest Muv-Love video. You're really the only English speaker I could find on YouTube talking about it. That's what I found with the first part. That's why I want to continue on the second part. It's like nobody was covering Muv-Love, and like I said, technically, just based on the feedback and the community that was engaging with me, made me want to do Muv-Love more. Like the commenters made me want to do that. That's just like Mushoku Tensei. Early on when I first started my Mushoku Tensei coverage, it was like I didn't really get many people because most people that watch me and listen to our podcasts, they want anime. They don't want novels and stuff. But it's the community that engagement was enough for me. It's like that makes it special. And it became Mushoku Tensei and technically sort of Muv-Love. Muv-Love I'm getting decent views on as well. It's a passion project. I enjoy it. Like talking about Muv-Love is just it's so interesting. It's just a weird world. Even though I hate it at the same time. But welcome. I'm gonna say your last because I'm gonna butcher the first part. Turret, welcome to the stream. The Wood. Well, the official Mushoku Twitter posted something today, sort of vague, but they announced an announcement on December 10th. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Hopefully somebody can post that in the Discord so I can check that out later. Thanks for the weekly Mushoku videos. Absolutely love them. Thanks, Ubeto. Appreciate the support. Love it. I'm excited for the next season for Mushoku. I'm guessing the the next season for Nier Automata. Most anticipated anime next season. They're bringing the English game cast back. Well, that's good. It seems like there's a lot of passion behind it. Did you buy the Roxy figure from the anime? No. I'm doing this thing. My disposable income is very limited. There's so many Roxy figures I want to get. So hopefully, Yari, what the heck, man? This is the appreciation for all the content you provided us fans for over the years and the push the back you gave to change careers. Cheers. Thanks so much, Yari. I appreciate that, man. That means so much to me, man. I appreciate it. Thanks so much. You're awesome. I want to give you more encouragement. Just pop in every now and then. I'll give you a pep talk. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. That's awesome. It means a lot. I think that's the biggest. Yeah, there you go. You topped the biggest tip. I think you were asking that. What was the biggest top? That's the biggest tip. So, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate it. Your support is really what keeps this stuff going. This is like, honestly, when I first started the YouTube stuff and everything, going full time with this stuff last year, it was scary, because obviously you're putting aside, not just like putting aside getting a real job, but it's like that encouragement from a lot of people to go out and do this full time because people enjoy listening to you and your perspective and the positivity bringing the community. But it was like I'm technically putting aside a career, which that's scary in itself, because if I were to go back to my old career after 2 years, they're gonna want to know what I've been doing for the last 2 years. All that knowledge that I have around procurement and stuff like that is gonna go to the side. So it's not just an investment of time, the nest egg that I put and everything, but it's just putting aside my career and possibility of getting back into that career. And so having the support that people have, getting the videos, sharing them out, leaving comments, hitting the like button, all that stuff is everybody's own way of personally contributing to the goal. And yeah, the direct Patreon and the direct tips are just, again, that keeps things going. Like every contribution that people give, whether it's monetarily or just by support through the comments and stuff, that's what keeps us going. And I, again, super appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Anyways, what was it? Beto. Yes, I will go buy that Roxy figure now, because I just got hold on a second. I gotta put an order in for a Roxy figure. Hold on a second. But no, there's like, I didn't no, to be honest, the one that was from the anime, the Roxy figure, I didn't like how it looked. The face mainly, and I'm a stickler for the faces, but I wanted to get it just for the context of it is really hilarious. But no, like the recent one was really nice. They released, I don't remember who it was, and then they have this swimsuit one coming up. I'm really curious how the swimsuit one looks like. I want to get something Roxy, though. I need, like, I want a poster of Roxy to put up, like, right here or something. Where were we at? Got Bay this morning, official Musho Tensei Twitter. They posted about a season 2, and same tweet talked about airing 5 episodes on live audience. We don't even have a date yet, do we? I'm hoping we get a date yet here soon. Thought they were referring to showing 5 episodes season 2 early. No, not gonna happen. Did anyone get tickets to see the final Ava in theaters yet? No. I watched it on Amazon. But that would probably be a really good one in theaters, honestly. Buster Rock is my favorite series of the season. Mob Psycho. Dude, there's so many surprising shows this season that aren't like the big heavy hitters like Chainsaw and stuff, like Raven, Bibliophile. Do It Yourself's too good. Like, I need to make a video soon. Do It Yourself is so stinking good. It's not funny. I am just in love with that show. It is so good. But yeah, I need to make a video on it soon. Also, could you watch the 20-second clip on YouTube? You'll love it. 20 seconds on the one they posted on Twitter. Deji and Esai are very similar. I'm waiting on figures for later long theaters. Oh, for like for like more grown-up version, I'm assuming, without spoilers, or just characters from later on. Oh, and Yamano and Musume, yeah, that series is right there with Do It Yourself. But Do It Yourself, like I said, is super surprising this season. Never purchased an anime figure before, but pre-ordered the Roxy one as soon as it was available. Nice. Yeah, as you can see, when my past job, I got plenty of figures over here. Yeah, well, you can see them better right here, but yeah, I used to get way too many figures back in the day, and I ended up filling up 3D Toffs, and that was pretty much it. I haven't bought really anything since then. My brother got me one a little while ago of the girl from Fire Force, but that's about the only figures I've gotten in like 2 years. The do-it-yourself English is getting so annoying, but Jobco is so great. But Jobco is so great. You can't tell me Jobco's not great. Jobco literally made that show for me. Like, my video on do-it-yourself is going to be basically about Jobco. Jobco has, like, I thought the girls for the beginning part was cute. Especially, I forget what her name is, the nerdy glasses girl. That was super sweet. But Jobco changed the show. Like, literally changed the show for me. But I would agree, yes. Like, some of the things he blurts out is so stupid. I want Eris, but it's not. The Eris, I will be legit. As much as I love Roxy, I've been waiting for that perfect Roxy figure. The one for Eris, the swimsuit one, super good. Like, it looks so good. Only problem with that one is I think it's going to be a leaner. I think that one has too much weight on her ankle. But I would probably prop it up on something and still buy it if I had the funds for it. Which apparently now I do, because Yari. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Figures are too expensive to sadly get, though. Yeah, that recent one for Roxy, what was that, like that was almost $300. It was a 1.7, but whew. Like, they have a tax on, I don't know if that's it. No, that wasn't the case with all the other figures for Mushoku, so they don't have a tax on it. But that one was way too expensive. I don't know what they're thinking with that one. I guess because it's ecchi. They charge a little extra for the ecchi. But no, the most expensive one that I've gotten was probably the Cardcaptor Sakura one. That one was, whew. That one was expensive. And I think the Hook Saber Altar, that one was pricey back then too. Like, I used to legit check back on my old job. I used to check Ami every day for figures. It was super bad. I miss it. I do honestly kind of miss that kind of stuff. But again, now I'm doing something I really enjoy. So need to catch up on Do It Yourself. Yeah, I missed this week's episode. I will be watching this week's. I might do a rewatch this week and then do my video on it because I really want to make a video on it. I know I keep saying that. The show has awesome, hilarious moments. Bochi's amazing. I love Mochi. I spent like 190 on it. Yeah, and that was the thing. Like, unless it was like something huge, like going above 190s, like that was a cap for me for most figures. Because anything higher than that's like, woof. And they get up there, some of them, especially like the 1/4 scale. I think this was a 1/4 scale, which is Rem. Those ones I can understand because they're huge. That's actually the only 1/4 scale I have, I think. No, I have Saber Nero, the bikini one. That one was, I think, a 1/4 scale. No, that's a 1. That's a 1/4. Maybe that's a 1/6. Maybe the Saber one's a 1/6. So that's not the same size. Am I planning on reading ahead on from season 1 Mushoku Tensei? Yes, currently the thought process is I will go beyond the first season. I'm enjoying it too much. And I think what the plan was is because obviously, like right now, most of my fun in the videos I'm doing is, yes, partly I'm seeing a lot of extra context. I get to see what was missing from the anime. But just experiencing it it's like re-experiencing the whole story in a whole new way. Going beyond season 1, what I plan on doing is reading the novels and talking about each of the novels and what happens in them. And then what that sucks about that is that my episode by episode impressions won't be a thing, because giving an episode impression of something that you already know what happens is kind of dumb. So it might be turning into one of those things where instead of doing episode by episode impressions, I will instead be doing things that missed videos, which are technically just as popular online. So I'll be able to double dip essentially. Whereas waiting for it, I'd be able to double dip as well because I'd end up doing analysis anyways. But that's the idea. That's the idea that we're doing. Winter 2023 already. I know, right? I didn't really plan on too much getting into this. I was just wanting to scroll through it really quickly. There's other stuff that I want to talk about more, which is this controversy with Elon, and I was planning eventually to talk about how I got into anime and stuff, but I'm enjoying chatting with people more, so that's been fun. So you plan on I'm gonna get that one. I hope it does. The last few episodes of Day Live listed last episodes were dark as yeah, it got it got a little dark. It got a little dark. Them bringing him back when all he was left was when he was just getting ahead. I'll just say that. Have you seen any figures from Prime One Studio? No. Is that a new studio that comes up? I haven't been keeping up on the studios or the different figures lately, so I don't even know who's good at figures anymore, unfortunately. I still like Good Smile Company. I will still always like Good Smile. Alter, I had a lot of Alter figures as well, but outside of that, I wouldn't know anymore. Crazy expensive, crazy. Is that the ones that did like the? Did they do the Berserk ones? That was when they did the Berserk ones. I know there's a company out there that makes these big, huge freaking ones for like One Piece. I think they did some for Fatal Fury or yeah, Fatal Fury. I think they did some for Berserk and something else. But they're huge and expensive. I think hearing impressions of the anime, even with light novel context, is still good content. Yeah, I'm just more afraid. Well, my experience in doing episode by episode impressions for something I already read the source material was To Your Eternity, and that just, it didn't feel right. Like, it felt like I was just dancing around because I don't get to speculate. That's the main thing, is I don't get to speculate. And a lot of my fun with my videos is speculating on what's going on with the series, so we'll see. We'll see. I saw the Lum figure for 800. What? Like, what size was it? And is it the new style or the old style? That is crazy. Whew. Like I said, I think the most expensive I've gotten, I think, was like 3 something. And again, that was, I think, the Cardcaptor Sakura one or the Hook Alter Saber. It's the old style. Awesome. Removable top or something, kind of expensive, right? I mean, that's just like what, the Orimo, full-size Orimo one or the full-size Ram statue. Yeah. And then there's like the ones that were at the, what was it, it's like one of the corner stores over there, 7-Eleven or something like that, had like an Evangelion figure that was huge. Those ones are crazy. Like, yeah, if I could have gotten that full-size Rem statue, yeah, sure as heck I would have dropped the money for it. But even with my old job, I'd have to save a lot or put down a loan or something. And then there's the whole problem with shipping that, because that would probably be super expensive to ship over across the sea and it not show up broken. Like one of I seen this one video where the guy got this, what was it they bought? I know what the character was. I'm just forgetting who it was. Or I knew the character. I just don't remember who it was. But anyways, it was a figure of this one character, and it was, I think it was a 1/1 scale, but it arrived damaged. Like arm broken off, kind of damaged. And my heart would break if Rem showed up damaged. It would be like her showing up actually are injured. I'd be heartbroken. Have watched Netflix Arcane series? No. I'm gonna skip you saying anime. No, I'm joking. Who is there? Shut up, Yari. Shut up, Yari. Yeah, for that yeah, I guess if I'm dropping down, 20th, I think the Rem one was 18. But yeah, if I was dropping that much money, I would what are you gonna do? Fly over there and get a private jet? That'd be shooting more expensive. That'd be the only way you could do it. Like, you couldn't have it like a carry-on. I guess if you bought a ticket for your Rem, she should be able to sit down next to you on the flight back, right? It's like strolling down the runway with her on this cart. Like, yeah, she's with me. Don't worry about it. Yeah, she's a little bit stiff. She can't really bend that well, but she'll sit down. Don't worry about it. I mean, people put body pills in airplanes, so why not? Have I read ReZero? No, I have a lot of it. Like 11 volumes? I have like 11 volumes of it, but I haven't started it yet. It's like, my priority right now is Mushoku, Ascendance of a Bookworm, Spice and Wolf, Grimgar, and then possibly ReZero after that. But I haven't been buying any of the new ReZero novels. I just don't know if I'll ever read them. I do want to read them, though. I do really want to. Because, like, ReZero is one of those ones where it's got a lot of that under lore that I think is probably not getting adapted. That would be probably so cool to get into with it. You have 2 Rem figures. Cheater. Actually, no. I got you beat. Never mind. You're not a cheater. I got you beat, so I can't speak. I have 3. I have the bunny one, the wedding bikini, and the normal one that came with Rom. Rem is better in the novels. Good, because she's non-existent in the anime. She's literally non-existent in the anime, so anything's better. What do I like more, ReZero or Mushoku? I'm gonna let people guess that one. Mir, shut up, bro. What's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to chat. There are shorter series in the light novel. You mean the short series, like the specials? I have a couple of those ones too. ReZero for me, though, both are S tier. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like either way. I mean, they're both fantastic. It's not like it's bad saying that you like one of them. That's just like saying, what's my favorite baby. I have Rem in her swimsuit and as an angel. There's a Rem angel one. Why do I not remember this one? Yeah, I don't remember ever seeing an angel Rem. Love the Mushoku video. Keep it up. And can't wait for you to get to volume 12. Thanks. I appreciate the support, Mir. No, it's been a lot of fun. I think we've talked that one to death. I think everybody in the chat right now are people that like my videos for the Mushoku. Well, I'm just kidding. A lot of people. So we've talked about it like 5 times, but I appreciate the support, man. Mushoku Tensei for sure, only because of Roxy. Yeah, Roxy's right now. Like I've said before, like this girl was like, she the backwards screws me up. She was like in my mind like rent free for like years. Roxy came along and said, like, Roxy just like took #1 for me. I could tell you a million reasons. I was about to say I can't tell you why, but there's like a million reasons why. I absolutely love Roxy. Which really breaks my heart that I can only get 4 volumes of the stupid books because, or the mangas, because 7 Seas sucks. 7 Seas, right? Yeah, 7 Seas sucks. I'm guessing ReZero for Rem. Same, I just like Rudy more than Subaru. Yeah, for sure. Like, Rudy's a million times better wrote than Subaru. So far. I mean, Subaru can get better, but yeah, like, ReZero is like so about the side characters, and Mushoku is so about the main character. But no, the answer would be Mushoku Tensei. Right now, Mushoku Tensei is easily my #1. Actually, I'd probably tell you, off the top of my head, I think ReZero is my third favorite isekai. So it is not my first, it's not my second, and it's my third. So ReZero is way lower. I'd actually even argue it's struggling with 3, honestly, for me. Oh crap. Example for short series, I got rejected and shaved and about my brightness. What does that have to do with ReZero? I'm getting chats mixed up right now. I'm sorry. What am I going to talk about next season? I usually decide when I get to that point, what exactly between each of the shows, because it always the episode by episode impressions is based on you'll know. Thanks so much for the 20. I don't even know what currency that is. The IDRs, the 20,000 IDRs. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I should play Archetypes now. No. I feel so bad for making that video for Arknights because I encouraged all of the Arknights fan to descend upon me, and it's been driving me crazy. That video, I must have caught some sort of algorithm for Arknights because IDR is Indonesia. Oh, sorry. I caught like an algorithm for Arknights or something, or because I had it hashtagged in my description for Arknights, maybe like the Arknights fans looking for the latest Arknights girl just found my video and they're like, what the hell is this dude talking about my what is this guy doing talking about my video game? And they just like descended upon me in the masses. Cool crew. I'm not saying anything negative against Arknight fans. There was a couple of them that were a little bit heavy on the comments, but for the most part it was just like a lot of people just saying play the game. Just play the game. And it's like, I'm sitting there reading the comments and I'm like, foolish humans. I've been around the ropes a few times. I'm very so much used to pretty much every season having 30 different fandoms of source materials contact me and say, read the source material. I've been around the block a few times. I'm so used to people being like, this is so crappy, don't bother. If you like it so much, read the source material. This is terrible, read the source material. It's fun. It is fun. But yeah, I'm tempted to make another video this week. Either way, if it's a good video or not. Whether I have something to talk about with Arknights or not when Friday rolls around and the 3rd episode comes out. I just want to make a video just talking about the feedback. I almost want to get a video that's like, yeah, I like this part about this episode, but dang, the comments, just kind of maybe answer a couple of the questions in the comments. I don't know. It'd be fun. Anyways, the angel Rim has the wings, white feather, flowers, and is smiling. Yeah, I don't remember ever seeing that, which is crazy. That just shows how badly I'm out of the whole scene of figures, as I'm that lost in it. Yeah, Yuri is more relatable compared to Subaru, and the fact that Mushoku Tensei is getting a full adaptation is big. Yeah, that's a huge positive because we really don't even know what's going to happen with ReZero. And they've been having huge gaps between the seasons, so I would love more ReZero though. To be honest, I do really enjoy ReZero. I just want Rem to wake up. That's all. I think I have a thing for blue-haired girls. I mean, yeah, I guess if Miku's got more of a greenish blue. I guess, I don't know. I can't think of anybody besides Roxy and Rem, though. Yeah, I don't think there's any other ones besides those two. They just both captured my heart. What can I say? Stop. Oh. ReZero hits peak during the season 3 and onward, if it ever comes out. It does feel like things are really finally ramping up for it. There's a lot of stuff that I feel like I've been kind of begging for them to get into, and I think they probably would I would assume here soon probably get into that stuff finally, so. What's the second? A Sentence with Bookworm. Easy. Like, especially after this last season, it kind of submitted itself. Lum kind of has blue hair. She's got, like, wild hair. Like, Lum is, like, who knows what kind of hair she has. Like, sometimes it's neon green. It's just, like, so weird art style. Do you watch Kantai Collection Season 2? I watched Season 1 back in high school. It's so sad that we're like, back in the day, I watched the first season of Kankali. Because it took them literally, what, 7 years to come out with Season 2? And it's not even Season 2. It's literally like a prequel or something. Adopts a snotty voice. Don't talk about something unless you have something we're thirsty for first. I get that a lot too. Oh my gosh. Like, if you miss some sort of context, how dare you? You missed a reference. How dare you? Or no, you said Mushoku Tensei or Sai, so how dare you? He doesn't Rebecca from Cyberpunk with blue. Does she have blue hair? I thought she had like a greenish too. Y'all are lying. You're just taking everything and making it blue haired. I don't know. Was Lily? No, Lily didn't have green hair. She had like brown hair, didn't she? Sorry for blinding everybody. I guess technically Hestia had kind of blue. No, yeah, because she had brown hair. Yeah, and look. The one character that's annoying me the most in this show right now has blue hair. See? Proof. Proof. I don't hate her, to be perfectly honest. I just don't like her storyline. There, proof. Of course, everybody thinks that I'm obsessed with giant girls too, so... Nothing new. Nothing new. Hey, YouTube, don't strike me for having bikinis on the screen. Asuka had blue hair? Asuka from what? Asuka from what? Esdeath had beautiful blue hair. I don't even remember if I liked Esdeath or not. I totally can't remember. I think in that series, my favorite was her name Mine? I think Mine was my favorite in that show. My most anticipated for next year is Vinland Saga Season 2. Mushoku Season 2. Yeah, Vinland Saga I'm pretty hyped for. I'm kind of curious how it's going to play out, but gosh dang, like, the end of first season of Vinland Saga, I was sold on that series. I really liked where the writing went to. Technically, Season 2 is an alternative timeline where Japanese ship girls are losing. Okay, that makes sense. I love Shigure. Like, Shigure is like one of the only girls that I have a figure of. I love her design. So I'm not mad. It's just like, after 7 years of waiting to find out what happened at the end of the first season, because they kind of left it on a cliffhanger. Like, somebody legit blew up. And it's like, peace out, see you in the second season. Like, they said the season 2 was coming like right after they finished. Crickets for 7+ years. Ichiko from y'all... Now you're just looking for them. I'm not that bad. I have a lot of girls that I like. Like, I have so many girls on my wall. None of them have blue hair. Yeah, literally, like, all the other girls on my walls don't have blue hair. I'm just stuck. Like, I like one giant girl, and I like 2 blue-haired girls, and suddenly I'm pegged in a corner now. Now, if somebody finds a giant girl with blue hair, they're going to immediately send me a picture and say, here you go. What about Hatsune Miku? She has, like, multiple hair colors. She's not set to have one thing. Yeah, Asuka, Ren Tasaka. Ren Tasaka's got brown hair. Like, come on. I'm not that. I'm not. And technically, the one that I have the most figures of has blonde hair. Saber. I have more Sabers than anything else. Which I to this day regret getting so caught up in getting Saber figures because I have too many of them. One of these days I'll just sell them like wholesale, like this big, massive, gigantic quantity. Not that I want to get rid of them. There's like 3 that I want to get rid of. Yuki, are you having fun back there? Oh my gosh, hot girls are waiting here. Thank you so much. Thanks so much. I appreciate you letting me know. Why doesn't this let me attack this stupid... Adrian, can you hit it? My clicking doesn't work on it. It's because the other screen's too small. I usually have not done anything about the bot. I have no idea. Thanks so much. I don't know, I hear about it all the time when I'm watching other people streaming, and it's like, what the crap, dude? The comments are terrible. Like, I get comments from people like Genghis. Like, every time I get a video put up, I think I get faster spam than anybody else. Yeah, and I think it's like it's gonna come down to them trying to figure out some way of, I don't know. Some of it's so obvious. Some of it seems like it's so obvious how you can block it. Now, granted, there is a setting in YouTube that you can make it more strict, but it becomes a struggle because I think for comments specifically, you have to approve everything. I'm like, hell no, I'm not gonna approve everything that comes through. That'd be crazy. Artoria Pendragon has blue hair. Artoria Pendragon has what? What? Is there a blue hair version of her? Nagatoro next season can be so hype. Best girl of 2023. I am looking forward to Nagatoro coming back. It was really getting good. Space Ishtar doesn't have blue hair. Yeah, well, yeah, she did, didn't she? I really like Space Ishtar too. I just beat a bud. Want to get Rose main figures and all that? Oh, yeah, that would be... Is there any figures of her? You talking about mine? Is there any figures of mine out there? I don't think I've ever actually looked at any figures of her. But no, I think for next season... I really want to watch. This is gonna be so stupid, but I am like kind of looking forward to Inukai. Being a hot girl's dog is gonna be so much fun. QB, what's going on, man? Appreciate you dropping by. Hope you're doing well. Next season is week. I would say we're obviously going to get a lot more announced here soon. Probably in this next month. November should be a lot of announcements for shows coming up next season. But I sort of agree. But the only reason I say that is because this season's like stacked. Last season and this season was super stacked. And so having anything fall up right now is going to be a weak season. I was almost thinking Mashuko was going to happen next season for the longest time, but I think it took so long to announce it. I think we're at a state now where it's probably going to be a spring show. But they will have a bind show, which is this one. But this is another team that's working on this. This isn't their team. Or isn't the main team. The main team's still working on it. Like, the director and everything's different, I believe. Anime original, a Crunchyroll original anime called Revenger. Is it not based off of source material? Yeah, it's from Bind. Came across Donishi and the first page said spoiler warning. Nah, it has no source material. Which, do you know what studio's working on it? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that Crunchyroll's like paying into, but it's like specifically their project. Can I somehow have a late ballot for winter 2022? Five votes for 86 part 2? No. But no, if you are late getting in your picks for those that are on this channel that don't know, our Discord, which there should be links in the description of this video. We have a Discord. Go hang out there. People that love anime. If you don't love anime, don't bother. But we are doing our picks for the best of our anime of the year, and we're starting off with like winter, spring, and stuff. We're currently on spring, but go join in there. But no, QB, if you're not joking and you want to get your ballot in, you can send it to me in a DM, and I'll see if possibly Ida can add it later. I don't know if he's willing to add him later, or if he's tallied it and he's done, he's over it. So the success of Nier anime is going to be entirely dependent on the budget into animating QB's assets. I don't know. We got a clear shot in the PV. So we already got visuals to go by. Did you see Log Horizon? The princess? Shut up. Shut up. I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm just joking. One of the Trigun characters' name is De Niro Roberto. I'm cautiously interested in Trigun, but I know that PV made me not like it. I spammed this one section of the PV on one of my Twitch streams, and it was like, I just suddenly don't like this show anymore. Hearing Kirito's voice, I was like, oh my gosh. I don't know, I can't stand Kirito's voice anymore. Like, every time I hear his voice, I just cringe. It's like, I don't know if I want to listen to this. I don't know why. I've grown to not like Kirito. His voice, anyways. Rimuru Tempest has blue shell. Y'all are mean. Y'all are mean. Based on the trailer, showed scenes from light novel 7 to 12 for the Mushoku Tensei. Guys, so I got quite a ways to go to be able to finish before the anime comes out. Kind of hoping that I can finish reading to the point that the season 2 would end by the time season 2 came out. I mean, I'd be fine either way. I'm not gonna rush what I'm doing currently with the Mushoku videos, and at the same time, I'm not gonna slow down. I want to keep a pace. That's what the council. We have a council. I gotta kick out the fact that we have a council of Mushoku readers on our Discord, or at least our community. I don't know if they're all in the Discord. Kirito is still going to, I'm still going to watch everything Sword Art Online getting animated. Also, Sword Art Online is coming, becoming real. I doubt it. I mean, I think technically, so we don't talk about the counts. I blame Adrian. He said it. I don't know. Technically, Elon Musk wanted to create something about it. I'm like, I'll wait for it. See, like neuro implants and like stuff that like actually taps into you so that you're technically, your body itself feels as if it's somewhere else, but yet doesn't move when you move. Whenever we get to that point, that's a beta process I don't want to be involved with. Like, legit, y'all have fun. I'll get version 3, I don't know, 5.0. Like, I'm not an early adopter of that sucker. Not an early adopter of that sucker. And that's like the whole thing. Like, I swear when they start selling things that do that, like, here's these glasses you can put on, it literally just zaps you into it and your mind into it. I'll be the first one out there with a sign that reads, "Did we learn nothing from Kirito?" Did we learn nothing from Sword Art Online? I want pictures of that when that happens. Like, there'll be like a store for it. Like, Facebook's gonna make the meta do that first, and I'm gonna be the first one out there with a sign with that. It'd be great. We we learned to be beta testers. You gotta be beta, right? You gotta be a beta tester. That way you can get all the girls. I got you. See, there's there's a separation from two different people who know. It's the people that know and they know they don't want to get involved, and there's the people that know and go, but I want to be the one that gets the girls. I want to be the one that all the girls follow because I scream and dual wield. Personally bought all the Roxy figures released and in pre-order. My gosh, I am super jealous. Super jealous. They are great. Like, that's the thing. Like, every one of those characters I'm so in love with. And I think that's the thing that really sets apart from anything else. Like, ReZero, technically, yes, I do like all the girls in that show, but like Mushoku, just, they're so good. The characters are so good, and none of them are. And I guess to answer the previous question about like which one's better, I think what really sets Mushoku aside is I like the lore in the world of ReZero. I'm getting more interested with Mushoku. But with Mushoku, no character is wasted, and that's insane. Like, reading the novels, realizing how important Vieira and Sierra is. Every character is important in that series. Even like the stupid tamers that they ran into like early on when they went to the Demon Continent. There's lore behind them. Like, this dude really has a pet shop, and he wanted to be legit. Like, and then the girl is the bug chick. She can like spew. This is all this crazy lore you get from the novels. Like this random bug chick that they ran in for like 2 seconds in the show. Her saliva attracts insects and traps them, and then she gives this lady at the shop a bunch of like extra saliva so she can catch bugs. It's so weird. I love it. My gosh, free girls in the city. There we go again. Got more spam. That's how you know the stream's doing well, is we're getting spam. And from Light Novel 7 onwards, the story literally explodes. Yeah. Everybody's just freaking out, saying get ready for what's to come. Yeah, it's definitely like world building, characters. It's all no way free SSR girls. I know, right? Thanks, Genghis. I appreciate it. I wish they made 6-faced world RPGs. Someone will want to go play it. I'm not gonna read any more of that. I think I know what you're talking about already with what I've gotten into, but still. The ending of Mushoku Tensei lives free in my head. I don't want to know. I really don't want to know. I'm probably going to end up seeing the cover that everybody's telling me to watch out for. That's the other reason why I want to finish reading it. For the question of if I'm going to continue on. So I want to read it because I'm afraid of spoilers at this point. Like, I'm so invested that I don't want to see any spoilers. And I've already seen technically one spoiler with one of the covers, and I hate it. But that's just how it is, unfortunately. But now I think for next season, the ones that I'm anticipating the most is probably Cool Guy. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Inukai is going to be fun. Again, I'm excited for... I'm hesitantly excited for Season 2 of Vinland Saga, mainly because I know it's supposed to be a huge departure from what we experienced in the first season. Everybody jokes about the farm arc, but... What else? I've been waiting for a Yakashi Triangle. It looks like it's gonna be a fun ecchi. I don't know if I'm gonna like... well, no, this is the mechanic one. I'm sort of interested in the isekai mechanic, but again, I don't know. I'm excited to see Bungo Stray Dogs come back, honestly. Nagatoro will be fun coming back. Again, we have the return of Shield Girl. What was else? There was supposed to be something else. Oh my gosh, whenever this is finally... I don't think this is coming back. This is turned into Can Collie Season 2. This isn't happening. Like, this will never come back. It's all a lie. Return of, Demon Skull is gonna be a lot of fun. I am looking forward to Demon Skull coming back. Nier's exciting for sure. What else? Yeah, I'm excited for Biden's other one here. I read a little bit of the manga. It was kind of fun. So I'm kind of interested in coming. 80,000 yen isekai is okay. Or gold, sorry. Spy Classroom I've heard's good. I'm excited for Apple Fairy Tale, to be honest. That one actually sounds really fun. Tokyo Avengers. That's supposed to be like a short one, isn't it? Like 8 episodes or something like that. I'm kind of interested in it. I was enjoying the first season. There was aspects of that really annoyed the heck out of me. Trigun, I have zero expectations for. I'll let myself be surprised if it's good. That's really it. Like I said, this month they should have a lot more announced, but we'll see. And I think anything else that's gonna pop up in here that hasn't been announced yet is probably gonna be ones that are TBAs, not new announcements. I don't think Oshino Ko, because Oshino Ko just recently got announced. Atari just got recently announced, so I don't think it's those ones. Dark Gathering could, because that was announced a while back. What else? When the heck is Goblin Slayer Season 2 coming out? Holy crap! Tomo-chan looks interesting to me. Yeah, I think it does look cute. But I think that's a Netflix one, isn't it? No, that was Aniplex. Aniplex. I was thinking it was on Netflix stream for some reason. Not Tokyo Avengers. the anti-manji symbol show. That is all. Yes, that we just scrolled through. Like I said, there's going to be a lot announced this month, so there's probably going to be a lot more popping up. How many was that? So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. 6. That actually could be pretty much what we're getting. That actually could be all that we're getting, because that's pretty much 40 right there. Hopefully something big gets announced soon, if that's the case. Hopefully something really big gets announced. Cheerleader Season 3 is announced in 2013. Yes, I believe so. I think it was... Wasn't it supposed to be spring? No. They had a TBA. Never mind. It was a TBA. Goblin Slayer is mid. I enjoy it. It's really fun, kind of super fantasy stuff. Give me 1 second. I got Doge problems. Alright, sorry about that. Doge problem has been taken care of. I did lose my dog, though. My dog went out there. What'd I miss? What I missed? Yeah, like I said, Nagatoro was doing really good. Like, it it went from like the whole bully thing that didn't feel very good to kind of a cute little romance, and I'm actually liking it. I don't know if it's ever gonna get anything good though. I've heard a couple people say that source material gets good, so we'll. Another one I'm gonna keep my expectations a little bit low and just enjoy it if it actually does turn out to be good. So, warning for those that are looking into their screens, and bright screens will hurt you because unfortunately the screen I'm going to now does not have a night mode. So you've been warned. Your eyeballs have been warned. It's 2022 and some sites don't have dark mode. Oh no, blind. Like even me, blind. I got a kick out of this when I seen. I'm sorry. I can't fix it. But no, I got a kick out of this because I ran this. Somebody posted this on the Discord and I about laughed. I didn't even see it because it was like 2 days ago this actually happened. And I just could not stop laughing when I read this. I was actually curious what you guys thought about it. I was actually planning on making a video on this. Because I think this brings up a bigger discussion, honestly. Is, for those who don't know, essentially Elon Musk, the now owner of the Twitters, posted a meme like Elon does, like every 2 seconds. Sabanasu, the idea is that whatever is posted on Twitter becomes public, and that public item can be used. It doesn't necessarily mean that you can take anybody's work and post it on Twitter. It just means that Twitter's not liable for it, and people that retweet it are not liable for it. So the whole idea of content becoming public once posted on Twitter is a protection for those around the object itself, not necessarily the person that posts it. Like, if somebody were to take, like, for me, I post a lot of clips of anime on Twitter. Technically, they can have them taken down because I don't own them. But if somebody were to do a tweet or something that I posted up on there, one of those videos, they're not liable. That's really the protections that they're really putting there. But the question mark comes, and there's a big conversation that comes from this whole thing, is what's new and does it really matter? But additionally, the difference between Japan and the rest of the world, not the rest of the world, but the US. Because obviously Elon Musk is in the US. Sometimes. And what he posts as a US citizen is fair use. But the problem is that when he posts it, Twitter takes his posts and puts it into Japan, where it's not fair use. And this is just the same problem that I have with YouTube. Everything that I do with YouTube, the fear that I always have is getting a strike, and it's pretty much from Japan. Because if I post a video and it has a screenshot of a show, it's going to Japan. And if Japan sees it, they can strike me because they don't recognize fair use. Whereas when I'm using it, it's in fair use in America, it's not there. So it brings up that whole conversation that always comes with this kind of stuff, is that you put something out there on these platforms, and they, without your permission, are technically taking it and putting it in places where you're not technically legal. And that's the bigger problem. I think honestly, I don't think it's going to bring up this question, but it honestly raises the question. What does Elon Musk think about the fact that whenever somebody posts something to his company's servers, they blast it to places where it's technically illegal? Granted, they haven't been doing it for this long. Japan hasn't been raising a fuss about it. And obviously, this mangaka is suddenly raising a fuss about it because it's Elon Musk. Now, I don't know if the mangaka is being funny about it. It seems like based on their follow-up tweets, they are serious about it because they're posting this. This could be them getting attention. I don't know if this post was sarcastic, because what essentially happened is he posted this meme. This character is a character in Magical Girl's site. So this mangaka basically said, hey, Twitter CEO Elon Musk posted an image of my character on a meme. I won $1 billion of royalties. I don't know if it's a joke. Typically, I don't know. Some people claim that Japan doesn't really have a sense of sarcasm, but I think they do. I think that's a thing. They just don't really often use it, at least unless they're very familiar with somebody. I just don't think they use it in a business sense. But they're obviously playing on it because their follow-up post is them posting a link to buy it. So they're banking on it. But I don't know, it doesn't seem like they're following up their tweet with anything of like, you know, maliciousness or anything like that. So it kind of seems like it could possibly be a joke. I know they don't care. I know they're not going to do anything. And Elon doesn't seem to care. He's not posting anything. He probably seen that and went, why a bunch of Japanese people tweeting at me? Maybe I'm mixed on it because honestly, Elon, for those that don't know, he's a geek. He loves anime. I mean, he's the only CEO out there that you'll see in a company photo wearing an anime jacket or an anime character on his t-shirt. He'll have, you know, big hot women on his anime girls on his t-shirt and taking a business photo. So maybe he would probably catch the attention of it. He's already tweeted once about wanting to pay for another season of ReZero at some point. Yeah, only if you pay $8, will he suddenly pay attention to you? Have Senpai Elon notice you by paying $8 a month. He may be exchange it for a permanent blue check mark for free. There you go. Instead of $1 billion, he'll give him a free life supply of a blue check mark. What did I come back to? Elon Musk getting yelled at by mangakas. But no, the other thing that I found funny about this whole thing, sorry, blinding again, sorry, is this is literally, I made a video here recently talking about how Anime News Network got bought by Kadokawa, and this is literally the kind of articles that I hope go away from Anime News Network. Not the article itself, it's fine for the most part, but you could smell in this article how much this person hates Elon Musk. Like, where was it at? Specifically, like, after all, I'm going to do a weird voice for this, just for you guys. After all, Elon Musk did purchase Twitter for a US $44 billion. Surely he could spare another billion for an artist who brings value to the platform. Yeah. There's the nyaws for you, too. It's like you could smell how much this person just hates Elon. And it's like, do you really need to did you really need to put that in there? Like, this is the crap that I was talking about with my video, was like, oh yeah, and the whole beginning part, Musk was faced with mild criticism in the past for posting uncredited fan art amongst other violations of Twitter etiquette. Ooh. Did Anime News Network get authorization to post all these pictures? They got the ability to put up Bleach stuff? Look at all this stuff they're posting on Twitter. Spirited Away, did you ask them for permission for this image? Anime News Network, how could you post all these pictures? Anime News Network, did you ask Konosuba if you could post this image? Anime News Network, did you talk to Chainsaw Man? I just get a kick out of the whole, like, you guys do it too. What is the difference? There's all of this stuff is not your property. Not that I have a problem with it. I post crap all the time. I just find it funny. It's a little bit hypocritical. So is Rukia a Disney princess now? What she get? What? I wonder if A&M paid $8. Is it retroactively happening? Are they? I don't know if they're actually removing old check marks or not. Anime News Network surely paid $1 million for each of the images, right? Because that's what would happen. The Japanese companies would legit ask them for a fortune for each of these images, and they're not doing that because A&N knows the same thing. They're in America. Is A in Canada? I think they're in Canada. And I think Canada even has fair use policies, right? Or fair use. Oh, it tells you if you paid for that? I mean, they already had one before, didn't they? No, they probably got it for like a news industry or something like that. My question was, do they lose it? Are they going to lose it eventually and they have to pay for it? I wasn't sure if the old check marks got to keep it or not, if they were going to drop them all. The white check is a thing Elon did today. I only follow Anime Trending and Anime Corner for latest news. I'm very mixed on a couple of the major news sites. Like I don't like the leaks Twitter groups. I really don't. I have way too many problems with running into some big, huge, massive lies or not full text releases. Because sometimes, yes, stuff is news, but at the same time, it's leaks, which is news. But sometimes they don't have the full context of the announcement, so they make assumptions in the leaks itself, which really sucks. Like technically, I think Ranking of Kings, I think, got leaked, and it wasn't the full context. It wasn't a full season. It was just a one episode. So, see Ludwig check mark. There's a user Ludwig. Let me see. Dang it. Look, isn't Ludwig like a streamer? Oh, we already got rid of it? Wow, the stuff that's coming up when I search Ludwig on Twitter. Maybe if I was on Twitch. Never heard of Ludwig until Connor did a video with him. But no, my main point is I don't care that Anime News Network posts stuff. I post stuff. Elon posts stuff. We all post stuff. And I'm sure this creator probably has stuff that's not their arc. I don't know if they post. I mean, it is. I don't want to scroll too much on this because I know that Magical site gets weird. I'm sure that Sato probably posts images of other people's properties every now and then. It's just one that that's why I think this person probably knows, but it's still kind of frustrating, in the end. But I think that, again, the bigger discussion that I'm kind of curious about is, could this possibly lead to some acknowledgement of that issue that fair use needs to be? I almost want to feel as if fair use should be strictly to the users of the place themselves. If I am in the US and I post a video, no matter if it goes anywhere else, it still falls under the rules of where I posted it. And this idea that if I post a video that has a screenshot of an anime in it, that it goes to Japan without my wishes and then Japan strikes me is bullcrap. I don't think it should handle that way. Same for Twitter. If the company's in the US and somebody is in the US and they post in the US, it should fall under fair use no matter where you read it from. And that's the problem that we really get into with the global nature of the internet, is that you have so many different locations with all of their own rules and you can't fall within all their rules. I mean, I know it's a side tangent, but technically with here recently with Square Enix's Manga Up app, they tried to make it to the rules and restrictions of everywhere, and look how that thing turned out. Look how that Manga Up turned out. Absolute garbage. Do you consider knowing the end of the story without knowing all that happened in between a critical spoil? It depends on the story. Really, it depends on the story, but for the most part, I don't like knowing. You shall not see knees. Yeah, no boy knees. No boy knees. No boy knees allowed. Might seem lame or crazy, but I only follow Otaku Spirit. That's all I'm gonna read. Thank you so much. For Neverworld, for Never News. I don't think I've ran into them yet. I'll have to look them up. And Nero for Anime News. Well, I appreciate it, Tungsten. I appreciate the support. What time does Muv-Love become available to you? Episode 6 came out for me 15 minutes ago. Hope you have enough tissues. That was 7 hours ago? 8 hours ago? Yeah, I already made a video on it. It's been so long ago that I made a video on it. You're talking about episode 18, right? So yeah, that'd be episode 6. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it was a good episode. I really enjoyed it. A lot of information, like info dump like crazy, but it was good. Is it possible to chat with you on your Discord server vocal channel? Yeah, I pop in there sometimes in the evening during the week. We also talk quite a bit after whenever we do a watch along. We'll usually hang around and talk for a bit. But yeah, if I'm not streaming or anything, just hit me up and I'm willing to go in there and talk. Yeah, when Genshin has a new gacha to go for, we sometimes pop in there and talk. Nahida, we had a lot of, that was like a whole night of talking about Nahida and builds and stuff like that. That was a lot of fun, so it works out. The Archon quest is good. I don't know. I'm probably gonna skip through most of it. Anyway, let me take a quick actual break, not trying to crown my dogs, and then I'm gonna come back and I'll probably get into the discussion that I wanted to get into, which was my history in anime, and we can talk about that. So give me a quick moment and I'll be back. There's a blue-haired waifus. Oh, if there was a tier list for blue-haired characters, um, let me see. That's not many. This one doesn't have many, and I don't. I only care about one of them, and no, I like Ray. But there's only like one of them, and she's not even blue hair. It's like bluish green. Yeah, Roxy's not even in the list. No, if you have a tier list for blue haired characters, I'd totally check it out. I don't think it's a thing because there's not many. I don't know, like back in the day, usually the blue haired characters was characters that Chris liked because they were blue haired and they were usually kudere. I never really liked them because they were like usually soulless dolls. Hold on a second. I want to see if there's any in my profile on Mal that are even blue haired. Oh my gosh, Mal, why can you not have a dark mode? All websites should have dark modes. I haven't put Roxy. I haven't updated this in so long. I don't even have Roxy in here. Again, there's only one blue hair character. Been at work since 4 a.m., but when I got home, I was watching Evidence in Shadow, Reincarnated Sword, Mortal. I have like 3 of those I need to watch. Wednesday is crazy. Wednesday is super crazy. Like I said, I haven't updated that list in so long. I've been on AnyList for the longest time, so it does have a dark mode. I need to find it. I know it has a dark mode on my profile on there, but not on my my actual list page. But I couldn't find anything for the rest of the site, so yeah. But no, like I said, my original plan for the stream was to chat about my history in anime. I think I made a video when I first started. When I first started my YouTube channel, I think I did one that was like about me kind of thing. And we've done a Meet the Host type of episode on the podcast a long time ago, which we probably should do another one here soon, just because obviously we have new people and on the podcast and on the YouTube channel. I might make a video again here soon eventually, but since it's been about 2 years at this point. But and the fact that whenever I wanted to show people those videos, like my first videos on YouTube were so terrible that I don't know if I'd really want to link people them. Did the kind of key art legit change in the last like 10 minutes? That's weird. Sorry, anyways, got distracted. Yeah, like right now for me, Wednesday is super crazy. But anyways, for those that are new and everything, my name's Andrew. No, I'm joking. No, I got into anime, like, shoot, let's see. Like a lot of people that were old enough to be in the late 80s and 90s, a lot of my introduction was around like Saturday night cartoons, the Dragon Balls, the Well, Dragon Ball was kind of later on, but like the Makagogo, Speed Racer, stuff like that, stuff that we didn't know was anime. I really did enjoy watching a lot of that stuff. A lot of them I would record on VHS. I know it's crazy for a lot of the youngsters out there to know what a VHS is. Ended up recording over a lot of family videos, weddings and stuff like that, which is super heartbreaking to think of now. How many family videos we probably ruined recording. There was a lot of them that was O.J. Simpson trial recordings. Like you were recording over O.J. Simpson trials because family were super into O.J. Simpson and stuff. Everybody wasn't back in the day. I'm gonna say that a lot. But no, I think the point, the actual point of getting to anime is always that point which you finally realize what it is. Because I think a lot of the stuff that was available on television, a lot of people didn't know was actually anime. It wasn't until my friend introduced me legitimately to anime that I finally realized what it was. Now, technically, a lot of commercials and stuff like that. What if OJ gets his check mark? It's gonna be like a joke of the night is freaking check marks. Hopefully eventually I'd probably pay to get a check mark. I don't know. It just depends on if it actually gives you anything special. I think doesn't the check mark also give you the blue, which is like gets rid of ads and junk. They were talking about like bumping you up an algorithm too, which I think that would actually be good for our account because it's for the Otaku Spirit. But no, anyways, you guys get me. Reduces ads. I don't even notice the ads really that much, so they're not that bad. But they're probably gonna bump up the ads. To be honest, they're probably gonna bump up a lot of the ads, if they even have any ads to do. Top searches, waifu in the years since 2005 video recently. I was really shocked to see Sakura being #1 for so long. That was a lot of fun. That was a really fun video. Gen Z getting into anime is in like 2014, 2016. Ninja Turtles, yes. Albator, DBZ, Cat's Eyes, yes. Yep, those days were in the early 90s. But no, my family, we weren't like, it's one of those things where you don't realize where your family was until you get older. We thought that we were middle class, but we weren't really middle class. We were kind of like family trying to be middle class by going in debt. And my family, my parents were, I love my parents. They went through a lot to make sure that we had everything we wanted, like the consoles we wanted and stuff like that. So my friend was really my introduction into it because his family was like pretty darn rich. Like he wasn't high class, but he was like middle class that spent a lot. And so he was like the opposite to us. And so he got to do a lot of cool things. He got to go to places. He would visit LA and stuff a lot when we were in California. And so he was the one that would get to like all those import shops and buy a bunch of imported Japanese stuff. And he was the one that literally introduced me to what anime actually is, which was, I don't know if it was Tenchi Muyo. It was something. There was a lot of, obviously Akira. Akira was huge. I still have vivid memories of being in his room. He got this, this tube television, like this big, which was huge. This tube television is, I mean, the fact that he had a television in his bedroom was really cool. This tube television, watching on VHS Akira. And that was life-changing for me. That was the point where you went from really thinking that anime was the overly altered anime that was on television, Robotech and stuff like that, to this is anime. Like, this is what anime does, which is not Looney Tunes. It's not it's not Bugs Bunny. Characters don't cartoonishly die. They get destroyed. Yes, TNA, all that kind of stuff in it, and it really changed my perspective of what really animation could be. Not necessarily cartoons, but animation itself. And that was super changing for me. And yeah, he introduced me to Tenchi Muyo and stuff like that pre-Toonami, which was really insane. I fell in love with Tenchi Muyo. It gave me a lot of emotions. And the movie, Tenchi Muyo, the movie, was like, I think the first thing animated that made me cry, besides probably Bambi, when I was too young to have emotions that I can control. Bambi killed us all. Let's be truthfully honest. But no, different emotions that I wasn't really expecting from animation, really, to be honest. So My sister used to be a weeb with Cardcaptor Sakura, being Magical Girl and stuff. Yeah, and see, I seen Sailor Moon and stuff as well. But like I've said several times in other places, Cardcaptor Sakura was the one that really sold me on Magical Girls. Then I got into Shugochara, and then I got into Tokyo Mew Mew. Those were my Magical Girls. Those three. I didn't really. I got into Sailor Moon, but I didn't really care for much. It was just my introduction to it, so I of course I enjoyed it. Yeah, I cried for Bambi too. It Twitter pated us all. What can you say? Was he the one that stole the anime drawing book from? No. I did buy a few things from him though. Hold on a second. He's who got my first stuff from. Speaking of Tenchi Muyo, he's who I got my first anime from. Which, like I said before, this is what we watched. This was the actual physical copy of Tenchi Muyo the movie that we watched that literally blew me. This movie was so good. When was this? 1996. Crazy. And then I got this from him too, which is a pack. I actually have a video on the YouTubes that is this pack of cards that I unbox it and look at it. But it's like a bunch of art of Tenchi Muyo, which is really cool. I can't show them here because I went out of my way to censor all the bad ones on the video itself, so. Gonna be heading out now. Good stream. See you later. All right, man. Take care. Thanks for dropping by and thanks for help with the bots. A2's best girl 2013. You're already calling it. Yeah, for those who don't know, my early videos, when I first opened up the YouTube channel, was for unboxing videos and stuff. So that kind of content was stuff that I did. Is my early messing around with videos and figure unboxings and photography and stuff. But anyways, yes, Tenchi Muyo, Akira. There was a lot of other ones too. Like I think like Mermaid Scar, and I think I even watched They Were 11 with him as well. But he was like my favorite friend. Like he opened the door for so much stuff. We had so much fun hanging out together, just laughing our butts off at the stupidest thing. We watched Ping Pong Club, not that Ping Pong Club, Ping Pong Club, which is a really old, raunchy anime humor. Watched a lot of dumb stuff that we just had so much fun with, and he was really pinnacle for my introduction to anime. Like he opened up the door, the floodgates of everything that I love about anime that I first got introduced to. True homie right there, right? Like I said, I still have the art book that I stole from somebody else. I'm a true homie. But no, I actually got these from him. I didn't steal these from him. I also have somewhere in here, I don't know where it's at. I have the first anime that I ever bought, which was the Pretty Sammy, the VHS that had the Pretty Sammy episode of it. But that was technically the first one I bought. This one I traded for him. I don't even remember what I traded for him for. So it's been so long. Do you consider redoing a tour of your figures and DVDs, Blu-rays? The last one was 5 years ago. My God, that old one's like legit. I had like one corner with a shelf, and then I had like probably 5 of these upper shelves, and I think like a cabinet. It had a lot of my figures in it. But yeah, I keep trying to get it through a whole recording process, and it's just trying to get. I get a little bit perfection about things like that, and so I overthink things, and I critique myself too much, and then I scrap it. I've recorded it like 2 times now, and I keep scrapping it. But yes, I do want to do one. I just got to figure out how I'm going to go about doing it that's good. It doesn't suck. It doesn't suck. But no, I hung out for him for the longest time, and then at some point we had to move because my dad changed jobs. And that unfortunately pretty much severed most of our contact because it was very hard to stay in contact with him. I ended up finding a group at this new school I went to, and they kind of kept my love going a little bit. That's where I got that Evangelion art book that I unfortunately kept. Unfortunately for them. I'm still cool with them having it back. They just have to contact me through Discord and show me a picture of them, and I'll know exactly who they are based on how they look, because they were a unique looking dude. The upper shelves look cool. Never saw anything. Yeah, I actually built them all. I really want to. I'll probably do it before the end of the season. I would love to do a do-it-yourself video, because I've had a couple people asking me how I made them, and it's very simple, to be honest. But it'd be funny to kind of tie in. I've been wanting to make a video about how I make them, because I think most people have Blu-ray and light novels and stuff. Would love to know how to make them, because they're super strong, and they're not that difficult to make, to be honest. It just takes time, and so I think it'd be a cool thing to do, and maybe tie it in with do-it-yourself, because I think do-it-yourself embodies what I feel about making them, is learning and the self-gratification, making something that you need that nobody else can supply. And it saves. I used to have a ton of these really tall shelves, and they took floor space in the room. Once I put them up there, I don't need those shelves anymore around the room, so it saves you a lot of space. I can remember setting my alarm clock for 4 a.m. to watch Dot Hack and Cartoon Network. Oh yeah, Dot Hack was great too. I remember that one. It uses gamer language, yes. I found my people. Dot Hack was good. Dot Hack was really good. I even watched all the other ones too. Luminosity was a little bit weird though. You could do a building live stream or something and then cut it down for YouTube. Yeah, I would think that would probably be something I want to do. I don't know if like setting up a camera or something like that and recording the whole thing, but I don't know. I'm mixed on. I'm still kind of thinking about it, but like I said, I really do want to do it, and I think it'd be a fun one to tie in with the concept of do-it-yourself, because I really love do-it-yourself. Do-it-yourself is a series that I want to do. I'm talking about the series. It's a series I want to do like 5 videos on, because I love it so much. I think it's just a fantastic series. Anyways. Following moving, then at that point I ended up graduating high school, got a job, got my own income finally, and that's when it all began. Where is it at? It's over here. Hold on, I'm gonna cut my video feed in case I fall. I don't want somebody to clip it. I'm not for people clipping my falling and breaking my neck. Although probably getting on live stream fails would probably be a nice boost for my revenue. The embarrassment is not enough. The embarrassment is not enough. But now this was my first. Like I said, I technically got that Pretty Sammy VHS, but this is my first actual purchase. I found a service to buy this sucker, and I bought the whole box set. And this is probably easily, before they got the Blu-rays out, probably my most expensive box set ever. But yes, the entire Neon Genesis Evangelion TV series. I bought the whole set, and then I bought, I think, Air TV, and I think that was it during that time. I bought quite a few. Yeah, it does. That's the nice thing about this box set. It's still relevant because you still have the proper 80. Yeah, I thought about maybe doing that building project during the review itself. That would be kind of interesting. I can see that too. But no, having my own revenue, I bought a DVD player, bought a TV, bought Evangelion, again, bought Air TV. Really loved them. But that was just about the time when we started getting BitTorrenting. Missed opportunity for life alert. There's a live stream clip of this guy yelling he's fallen and he can't get up. Did you always buy it from Right Stuff? I remember when that box set came out. I don't even remember where I got it from, to be honest. It was online. Because like I said, that was about the time where we started getting a lot of online stuff happening, and I don't remember what the website itself was, because I got quite a bit of stuff at that same time, including my wall scroll of Beldandi, and and a lot of other stuff. It was like an old janky website from way back then, so obviously, I mean, this is like right at the turn of 2000. So it was very, very limited on what you could get during that time. First time I watched that I kind of knew was Full Metal Panic. That was one of my favorites. Yeah, and I think I watched a little bit of Full Metal Panic when it first came out, but I don't remember too much of it. I did rewatch the whole thing before that recent season came out. But yeah, during that time, like I said, anime really started taking off online, and a lot of the focus was... Why is this screen off? A lot of the stuff online was obviously pirating. This is why whenever somebody talks about piracy and that they don't subscribe to Crunchyroll and they download everything, I can't argue. Like, I used to do that crap all the time. Like, this ain't nothing new for me. Like, back then, that was the only way that you could get it, technically. I mean, back then, I would probably want to subscribe to Crunchyroll if I could. Just at that time, that was the only option you really had. Let me, Oh, I'm sorry, I'm blinding people again. I apologize. Look away for a second. Look away. Look away. I think this shows, like, when it starts out here. Yeah, Crunchyroll used to be a pirate site. That's true. But no, back then it was like you didn't have like streaming. Well, you had streaming, but it wasn't like popularized at the time. So most of the stuff that you end up getting was torrents. BitTorrenting and all that kind of stuff was like super big at the time. I really need to make this bigger so I can do this. Plus the fact that I lost Adrian. Unless Genghis is still around. This thing again. Anyways, back over here. Let me see. What was the time that I started doing torrents? Like, I went back and did a lot of stuff like Lotus War. Torrenting, at the time of torrenting, I was watching a lot of older stuff because, again, for the thing that people don't really acknowledge a lot during that time period, or at least versus now, is whenever you hear people say that anime is dying, it's like back in these days, I'm gonna keep saying that, there wasn't much per season. Like, there was a very handful of shows that you watch each season, so it was a lot more nicer back in like the turn of 2000 that you would go back and watch a lot of the older stuff. And that's where I think a lot of my enjoyment for the golden age of anime, which is the 90s that everybody claimed back in the day. I don't really hear people say it as much anymore, but for a long time, everybody's biggest argument was that the golden age of anime was the 90s and stuff. But honestly, it was more because there was so much stuff, there was so little stuff that you watched it a lot. Like, you watched it and you hyper-analyzed everything, and you almost made things into being something they're not necessarily are. Because, and you had a lot of community, a lot of people to really pick things apart. So things stuck around for a lot longer than you typically would these days. Like, these days, again, you watch the first episode of most of the shows, and then you drop them all, you watch one or two shows, that's your season. Because there's so much content, you're not consuming it all, you're not getting everything. But again, back at the turn of 2000, you'd watch all these Tenchi Muyo's like 15 times. You'd watch, you know, Ama Goddess, you'd watch New Dominion Tank Police. I watched Iria so many damn times. Like, I watched this show so many times. It was also on Sci-Fi Channel, which was great. Watched Magic Knight Ray Earth. Key I watched a lot as well. I really enjoyed it. I think that's why a lot of people really do look fondly on the 90s that were around back then, because these were your shows. Like, these were the shows that you didn't have anything else to do. And I think that kind of helped for people to do like video clubs and stuff in colleges that a lot of people talk about when they say they got an anime. I didn't do that whole stuff. It's because you had the selection and everybody passed them around, and there wasn't really much else to watch. First anime that I remember watching was the original Fully Cooley, not the remake one that came out recently. I didn't watch the remake one. I wasn't sure if I wanted to ruin it for myself. Of course, I wasn't a big fan of Fully Cooley to begin with, but I kind of just left that memory for then. Zach Bell from I was hooked on anime. Before anime, I read a lot of manga back in 2004. Anime is like you buy the DVD around that time. Yeah, that was a lot of it. Like I said, it was pretty much just buying it for the longest time because I didn't have the connections to do a lot of those like clubs where people passed around VHSs with subtitles and stuff like that. My real kind of diving into anime was mostly whatever my friend bought. And then, like I said, the turn of 2000 and stuff, when the torrents first started up, that's where I just started just consuming like massive amounts. Like torrents were going. Like we got broadband at some point, and that sucker was bogged down. And it sucks because I know that everybody in the area, because I think it was DSL that we got. I know I probably made it miserable for everybody in the neighborhood. I usually torrent it at night, but I know I probably made everybody's life miserable in the neighborhood with how much crap I was torrenting at the time. And most of the companies didn't even know what was going on, probably. These days, you torrent, bog down a system, you'd probably get yelled at. Seems interesting to be an anime fan back then. It was the Wild West for a bit of it. It was a struggle, and it was the Wild West. Because, like I said, the availability just wasn't there in, like, the 90s. Again, most everything you had to buy. And there was definitely probably an older generation of mine that probably were consuming a lot of the 90s stuff. But honestly, for me, it was just whatever my friend got. Whatever he would buy, we would just watch over and over and over and over again. It wasn't like, what do I want to watch today? It was, I guess we're watching Naked again. Like, we're just going to watch the same show over and over again. Because, yes, Relentless, right there. 2 episodes on a VHS, legit, was a normal thing back then. Where is my, this is bugging me because I keep thinking about it. I want to look at it. Where is my VHS? It's in a drawer. Don't hurt yourself. Everybody will make fun of you, Andrew. I think my dog ate it. Legit, I think my dog ate it. But no, I think my Pretty Sammy VHS, I think only had like 2 episodes on it, to be honest. I think because it had the Pretty Sammy episode, and then I think it had one other episode. But that was a sucky thing, yes. These VHSs were expensive, and they didn't hold much. And that's a sad thing. I mean, even the DVDs. These were, what, 3 episodes each? Oh my gosh, Laserdisc. We actually watched an anime on Laserdisc once. We rented a Laserdisc. Yeah, this is 24, 25, 26. So these are 3 episodes each. And again, this whole set, I think back when I bought it, was like $150, $200. Like, this was expensive. And there's no extras. This isn't like a limited edition. That was just a box set. Yeah, it was funny too, because back then also, what would happen is this is legit how you bought it. This was the first one. You bought this. This is how they would sell these back in the day. Is they would sell you volume 1 or the first one in a box. And then after that, you would buy all the separate pieces. And they would make a whole bunch of these ones, and then they would make. This is the other terrible thing. This is the other terrible side of anime back in the day. I should probably just do this. So like I said, they would sell this, which was the first one and the box set, and then you would buy all these separate to fill it out. Now the sucky thing is, like I said, they would produce a crap ton of these. This one they would produce so much of. And then it kind of dwindled. And this is what you would notice when you went to the stores. The stores themselves would, they would probably have, where am I starting out here? For volume 2, they would probably have a whole bunch of 2. They would have a crap ton of 3, crap ton of 4. And then as it went along, the amount the store and that would be supply would go dwindling. So what you'd find is that you'd go to a store and you'd find like a whole bunch of like 2 and 3 and then a bunch of 5 and none of the rest because they didn't want to restock or anything. It was just getting a full set was a pain in the butt. And I think that's why a lot of people like the mail order stuff is because you could typically find what you needed, but the stores themselves, good luck. The stores was like just terrible at supplying this stuff. They would also get weekly release, disc every couple months. Yeah, like I said, technically when I got that Pretty Sammy one, that was like literally the only one they had that entire set. It was just really terrible to buy stuff back then. How was it to buy manga? I cannot tell you because I never got in the manga back then. Oh, no. I have manga. Well, again, I didn't buy it myself. Shoot. If I can find it. I should legit have all this stuff available and ready to go. If I didn't mess up my mic. Now we're good. No, we discovered this on one of my live streams. I completely forgot that I had these. I do have manga. And this is back when they actually used to release chapters. This is only a chapter. Like, that's crazy. I didn't even know I had this. Was that Viz Comics? Yeah. It's a chapter of manga. But again, I didn't buy this. It was I didn't buy it directly. A friend bought it, and then I bought it from him. This is like super. Yeah, one chapter. Just one. I don't want to look too much because this is Tenchi Muyo. But no, you'll see down there part 6-2. So that's technically the volume, I think. It is super thin. This is how much was it? For $3. $3 for a chapter. It's a $3 chapter and it's got like 20. That's 30 pages. It's not too bad. I almost want to make a video on this alone. Look at that, Ranma. Again, they would usually come on the sleeve like this. This is like super old. Looks so janky and dirty. Rumiko Takahashi. I would love to get this signed. That would be insane to get this signed. I mean, it's been in this thing for like ever. So it's legit like pristine. Like it's been taken very care of. I mean, there's a bin right there. Like the spine isn't very worn. It's in good condition. I would love to get this signed. Does Rumiko Takahashi even go to the United States ever? But that was another friend that I found that I ran into later on. Had a bunch of that stuff, and I bought a bunch from him. But no, that was the other thing. When torrenting started happening, I also started visiting rental stores a little bit before then. And so I used to actually rent a lot of anime. And the funny thing is, yeah, that $3 a chapter is pretty expensive at that time. Yes. That is actually very expensive at that time. That's like, I don't know, like $9 worth now. But anyways, rental stores was great. Rental stores were really fantastic because I've joked about this several times on the podcast and stuff, but you could find a lot of anime at rental stores. And the funny thing that was about them is even before I got old enough to get a job and start buying my own, I used to go to... This was between me leaving my friend and moving and the point in which I had a job and I can buy my own. This period of time where I was technically probably too young to be watching some anime. Let's be honest. When I was watching Akira, I was like 12 or something. You go to these rental stores, like Blockbuster and stuff, and this stuff was in the this is in the kids section. These stores didn't know there was the most violent, screwed up adult stuff in the kids section. These no shade to them, because I honestly doubt they even know what this stuff is. They see colored characters, all over the front of it. Oh, that's cartoons. These are drawn characters. Gotta be cartoons. Boop. Right next to, I don't know, Bambi is Akira. It was the great... And again, there was like the most violent stuff. I mean, let's see. Let me think of one that I watched that was in a video store. I want to say I've seen Rurouni Kenshin in the kids sections. Yeah, like things like Armageddon here. Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, Wicked City for sure. For sure. Like all this, and let's be clear. We actually talked about this in my last live stream. That was anime back then. Back then, all of this stuff. There's Ping Pong Club. Yes, Ping Pong Club would probably be in that section. Gantz, I don't remember seeing specifically Gantz, but I could totally see it. Mermaid Scar, oh my gosh, super graphic. There was just, like, back here in the early 90s, especially 80s, especially 70s, every anime had everything in it. It had gore, it had nudes, it had everything. Everything in all of them. There was, like, even Dragon Ball had everything in it. This stuff was just the norm. Anime always had, even if it was geared towards kids, it had everything in it. They didn't find it to be offensive. Honestly, anime did not find it to be offensive. And if they could sell it to an adult audience by having that stuff in it, they would do it. And I guess that transitioned over into the West when they thought everything animated is kid stuff. So it was really... I really do want to look into it. There has to be somewhere out there. There has to be news articles about store rents out crude violence to child. There has to be somewhere, like, I almost want to look in a library somewhere to look for old articles. There has to be an article out there somewhere of somebody saying they rented this out to my kids and it is full of offensive stuff in it. Because, I mean, we're talking about the 90s here. Like, the things that ruled society back then was, yes, anything that was close to showing skin, the religious crowds were all over it, and it was all over the news. You don't see that much stuff anymore, but back then in the 90s and stuff, the religious crowd had the news, and they were like, this was on my kid's television, and I am super mad. So there's got to be something out there. I would love to find some sort of news article about, yeah, La Blue Girl ends up on some kid's television screen. Because, you know... No, I don't remember seeing La Blue Girl back then. I did watch La Blue Girl back then, but I don't remember seeing it in the kids section. I think La Blue Girl was like my first introduction to straight that stuff. I want to say La Blue Girl was my first real true introduction to just straight up that's what that is. And it was great because La Blue Girl is freaking hilarious. And the dub is freaking hilarious. Like Love Blue Girl is like a cross between. It had to have been the same company that did Golden Boy. Like the Golden Boy, the crew that did Golden Boy dub had to have been Love Blue Girl's dub, because they just ran with it. It was so freaking funny. The stupidest phrase they made for stuff in Love Blue Girl was crazy. Hopefully YouTube doesn't know what that show is and they're getting mad at me for saying that so many times. Yeah, Love Hina was it had plenty in Love Hina, but it was censored. Like I think that when they did the actual TV broadcast of that was pretty censored, if I remember correctly. When I watched Love Hina, it was torrented. I torrented Love Hina, so I don't think I got the censored version of it. Yeah, it was very mild. I mean, it was just like every now and then he would walk into a bathroom. That was Love Hina. It had it in there, but it wasn't the focus. It was standard ecchi harem stuff back in the day. Everything showed that much. Bath scenes, walk into the bathrooms, those kind of stuff. I feel like the early 2010s anime that aren't battle shonens were the last anime that with kind of was funny dubs. Yeah, because I think as time went on, there was a change going into the late teens and on to now, where it's like it's both like a mixture of the translators trying to be artistic and seen as something special, and then a mixture of just you don't mess around with that kind of stuff for fear of either getting backlash from the community or just plain screwing with something you license and getting in trouble by the licensor. Yeah, Burn Up was great. Burn Up was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with like Burn Up. New Dominion Tank Police was a huge one for me. Record of Lotus War. What else is the 90s? Blue Seed I really enjoyed. Like Ping Pong Club, like I said, had way too much fun with my friend. That Slayers was a huge one for me growing up. Escaflowne, of course. Gunsmith Cats was huge as well. Berserk, obviously. Rurouni Kenshin. I didn't watch Perfect Blue when it first came out. I wish I did, because that's just an amazing movie. Serial Experiments Lane, obviously. Cardcaptor Sakura, like I said. I didn't watch GTO when it came out. I watched it later. Really loved it. And that pretty much brings us to 2000s. Yeah, Trigun. Outlaw Star was actually my favorite. I actually liked Outlaw Star more than Trigun. I know that's probably blasphemy for so many people. It's probably super blasphemy to so many people. But yeah, like I said, I think around 2000, this is when I started pirating a lot of stuff. Like I said, I love Hina. I remember downloading that. These were all torrents. I watched all the... blanking on the name here. I keep wanting to say Legend Galactic Heroes, and it's not. The heck is the name? Somebody help me. Blinded! Yeah, Crest the Star. Watched all that series. Really loved it at the time. Was really glad to hear about the Kenshin remake, by the way. Really surprised me that it would take until... No, I think the thing that surprised me most about the Rurouni Kenshin remake is just really around the controversy around the creator. But... like I've told a lot of people, I don't think it's that... honestly, if you think about it, it's not that surprising. Because... They've been making Rurouni Kenshins for forever. Like, that, it's a cash cow. They've made so many live actions, so much stage plays. Rurouni Kenshin just sells. It's, to this day, Rurouni Kenshin is... it's just printing money. It's going to always print money. And I don't think they care. Yeah, Cutie Honey back in the day was pretty crazy. I liked the remake. Here's a sad thing, because a lot of things that are getting remaked are getting kind of censored down. Cutie Honey, the recent one they made of Cutie Honey didn't censor things down. Like, Urusei Yatsura, unfortunately, just I don't care. It doesn't bother me, but it is kind of a bummer, the fact that, yes, the old Urusei Yatsura was just like, you had shots every single episode. Like, it didn't hide anything back then. But now it's like, they don't show anything in the new series. But Cutie Honey, there was a censored version of it, but there was an uncensored version too. Loving the new Galactic Heroes. Yeah, I keep putting off getting started in it. I started the first 2 episodes of it, loved it. Obviously, Sawano Hiroyuki, I'm always gonna love his music. Visually looked really good. I've read most of the novel, and it's really fantastic. I just haven't got a chance to get to the new animated series because I don't like the idea of getting into it and then having to wait for the next parts to release. I almost wanted to wait until it is completely done. Yeah, like Urusei Yatsura, it's not toned down. It's just non-existent. It's just not there. I mean, it was, the first episode kind of showed a little, like, just the edge, which was nice, but they just, after that, nothing. The Amazon Prime remake doesn't have it. For which one? I don't know if they would do it on the Blu-ray. I just don't think it's there. I just don't think they're putting it there at all. It could. I would be really. When would the Blu-ray come out? The first Blu-ray is probably going to come out, I would assume, in a month. I guess we'll know in about a month. I'd be curious to see if it's like the Blu-ray when, like, for that first scene, it's just not there, and they show something. I don't think they will, though. Blade Immortal symbol on Manji back. That's the funny thing. That's the funniest thing. I meant to actually make a video on this. Isn't it so funny that after so long, what was Tokyo Revengers? That like 2 years ago? Tokyo Revenger comes out, and that thing is just plastered with censorship all over the place because of the Manji symbol. And their whole thing, the studio, let me be perfectly clear, the studio themselves in Japan said, the West can't take this symbol. Let's make a version that everybody else will have that has light bars everywhere and the side of shrines for half the show. Let's send this to the West. Absolutely annoyed the hell out of me. I understand for regions like Germany or something like that, but now we come into the year of our return of Bleach, and guess who has a hilt guard that doesn't care? Ichigo. Like, legit first episode, Ichigo comes out and says, "What's up? We grown-ups. What's up? We can handle this. What's up, guys?" It floored me because I was legit curious. Yeah, the Manji symbol is not that symbol. It's a perversion of that symbol, that's what irritates me the most, is that it's a perversion of the symbol and they're letting them win. They're letting them have it. But I made a whole video on that. I literally laughed out loud the moment Ichigo came on and he had that in his hand, and I was like, thank you. Thank you. We all grown-ups here. We can handle what this is. It was great. Anyways, where was I? But yeah, this was like legit the part where I was really kind of torrenting stuff. Got in pretty much contact with a lot of groups that were doing different torrents, different subs, different groups. It was really around this time where you had a blossoming of a lot of groups that were doing subtitles. Yes, a lot of it was ripping from official stuff, but it was like, this is the time where people were getting it over there, immediately putting it on the internet. Groups were subtitling it and putting it out in different groups. It was really an interesting time. Yeah, they're not the same symbol. The author of the remake has already gotten the hate of a lot of people. Strange, because I think he is a pretty normal guy. Yeah, I honestly don't understand. I'm probably gonna get some heat from people that are actually in our Discord. We have quite a few people in our Discord that are like, don't like Rumiko Takahashi, and it's like,
I don't get where the hate's coming from. So there's a large group of people that just don't get that humor and they're not happy about it, and that's fine. But just let me enjoy my nostalgia. He's literally the dither of the 70s and 80s. Like, this is back 44 years ago. This was how you had a character not jump on and get with all the girls when they're wanting him. That was how they handled the situation where, what do you do when 5 girls wants the main character? How do you make sure they don't actually sleep with them? That's how you handled it. He was an idiot and he was a jerk. And yes, it bugs me that Ataru seemingly wanted to get with Lam at the very beginning, and suddenly he doesn't want to be with her. And it's like, dude, she literally wants you so bad right now. But that's the funny. That's the joke. But that's fine. But no, there was a lot of torrent groups. We did a lot of torrenting of a lot of stuff, like I said, especially Love Hina. I found a group that exclusively did Inuyasha, and I was hooked on that for the longest time. There was legit like an actual website domain and a group that was just plastered with Inuyasha, and you just went there every week to get your Inuyasha episode. That's how cool it was back in the days. You had legit subgroups that were just dedicated to just certain shows. Which, yes, the unfortunate thing is that you didn't find everything. Noichigu, I ended up finding subtitle as well. Super loved it. I think the original Fruits Basket I ended up watching torrented as well. Yes, Onegai Teacher. Tokyo Underground. I think around the point in which I think in the 2002s, this stuff was just like hyper available. Like, you would just go to a site and you just had everything, bam, done. You downloaded the entire series. You burn it onto a... I wonder... No, I don't have it. I think I looked for it at some point. I had a massive binder with just like DVDs like crazy. Massive sets of episodes. I think I found it at some point, and they're mostly decayed. But yeah, I used to work for an electronics place, and so I would just buy these big old spindles of DVDs. I bought a DVD burner, which was at the time super expensive, but I would be able to get them when they were like discount, discontinued. And that was where I pretty much burnt like all the stuff onto DVDs. I'm glad School Rumble manga ends like how it you want it to be. I don't think I ever really finished School Rumble, unfortunately. So I think Rumble 1/2 is peak Fumiko Kakashi. Yeah, I think of all of her works, I think Rama was the best. As much as I love like one of the other series though. You gotta. I only recently got a Blu-ray player. like I said, back then when I got that DVD burner, it was $300. Like, they were super expensive back then, so having a DVD burner was actually really great. And do you update your ratings from time to time, or is it too much work for all the series you've seen? Both. Just no. I don't update them. And no, I don't go back and update them mainly because I just don't know. Like, when I set ratings as I went along, it was much easier, but going back and remembering how much I love Rezomine is really difficult. Like, mainly because all I can remember, like with Rezomine, the only thing I can remember about Rezomine is the funny parts. Blinding people again. Where is this? Let me find the settings so I don't blind people every time I check this stuff. Give me a second. Is it under account settings? It's gotta be like display or something. Dark mode. Dark mode. Help me support people's eyeballs. It's not favorites, notifications, picture count. Oh, you're talking about just forcing it with dark. Okay. I don't know if does Firefox have forced? I know Chrome has forced dark mode. You're used to getting flashed all the time. Website appearances. Let's see if that works. Let's see if that's a forced mode. Everything legit these days should have dark mode, and if they don't, then they're against conserving power, because technically dark mode helps with conserving powers. Let's see if that worked. If not, you're all gonna get blinded again. I hope you like it. Here we go. No! You're blinded again. Anyways, but no, like, when I think about something like Grizzlemine, all I can think about is literally the funny parts. And it's 24 episodes. So you know, those, like, 3 points that I like, even though were really funny, I don't know if the other, I don't know, 23 plus episodes worth of time was terrible. Her basically mind controlling him in the bathroom, and, like, it's just a dumb show. So I don't update him, no. If you right-click the page and the option that's there, if you're wrong, everybody's gonna get blinded again. I hope you're happy. There's nothing there. That ain't it. Anyways. So yeah, Dot Hack, Chobits, a lot of these shows was pretty much the torrent years. Scrap Princess, absolutely loved it. Then I think, where was my cutoff point? I had this period of time where I just legit just dropped out completely. You should do retro anime reviews once in a while. I really enjoy when you review the new stuff, but it helps sift through all the stuff available. It's a given. It's SPC retro stuff is passion stuff. It's legit passion stuff. Because the biggest unfortunate problem with covering retro stuff is nobody watches it. So whenever I do that kind of stuff, I'm doing it because I love it. And like a lot of the stuff that Right Stuff sends me is a lot of it's retro stuff, and I do reviews and stuff on it, and it gets no views. Nobody. It's the unfortunate issue with the anime fandom these days is nobody cares. Like, unless it's like the now, and everybody's watching it together, nobody cares. Well, not nobody cares. Just not many people care. I would love to cover more retro stuff. It's just, in order to keep at least some progress for my channel, I have to only do it as a passion project on the side, unfortunately. I'll send you my eye doctor bills. I already have enough of them, as you can see. But yes, I like here recently I did the it's not that retro, honestly. I think the most retro thing I've done here recently was probably covering the On My Buddhist wasn't that old. Was really a lot of the Gundam stuff. Like, me and Chris went through the entire Gundam series, starting with the original OG one, which was what, 78. But we pretty much went through the entire well, minus like 4 series of Gundam, and that was a lot of fun. We did like El Hazard, was a lot of stuff that was retro as well that we did here recently. But yeah, unfortunately, just nobody watches it. Nobody looks into them. That said, one of my main current side projects. Yes, I did a video on My Buddhist. It was really fun because I was able to actually use footage. So it was a lot of fun doing that one. Whenever I can actually have a company that says, "Hey, you can use footage of the show," it's like yes. Like, yes. Like, even though my video for interspecies reviewers, I literally had to scrub that show to find something to put in my video. It was a lot of fun. My oldest show that I've watched, I don't know. I haven't. There's a lot of old shows that I haven't added in here. Yeah, the oldest one I have in here is Makagogo. Makagogo. I watched this one recently, but these ones I watched way back when it first came out. Original Urusei and stuff. And there's probably some other ones that I watched that were old than that, but I just never. I just don't remember them. There's so many older shows. I don't even remember me watching them. So it's very difficult to fill out my MAL. My MAL took me like 3 days of just like constantly hitting it to get everything put on it. And there's so much I still haven't put on there. Yeah, I remember I was on Boomerang. Yeah, I watched Astro Boy. That's what I said. I just don't know how much of it or which ones I watched. Like I said, there's a lot in here that I don't. There's a lot on MAL that I don't have on my list because I just don't know. I don't remember how much I watched of it, which versions it was. A lot of the stuff back then were like spliced together, things like Robotech and stuff like that. I watched some Gunbuster. I just don't know which ones. If it was because there's like a movie and there's a TV series. I remember really enjoying. I think it was the TV series though. Yeah, the original Urusei Yatsura is hella long. And then they had like some other movies and stuff like that with it. But no, I was gonna find out. There was, like I said, there was a point in which I stopped completely watching anime. And I don't remember where exactly it was. There was a point, like, I forgot to mention, there was a point, like, just before I actually started buying anime and torrenting, that I went to see my brother who was in the military, and he had a lot of anime as well. Chris was actually stationed somewhere, and I went and visited him, and we just binge-watched anime and played, like, Bloody Roar all the time. The entire time I was down there was watching anime and playing Bloody Roar. He like, bought, like, 3 versions of Bloody Roar. I don't know why. Like 3 memory cards and another controller, and we just binge watched anime and played Bloody Roar. I don't know why Bloody Roar. It's just, that was it. That's what we played. So it was the stupidest game possible, but we liked it, so it worked. Newest anime I've watched was when I was completed was Classroom Elite. Oh, after the first season was completed. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. And for the Top Gun Buster is a 6 OVA anime. And I think that was the one I watched. I know they're doing another release of it, right? Finally. Because I know that, like, Discotek had the movies for the longest time, but never the OVAs. And I wanted the OVAs. The oldest anime I watched was Mitsuru Adachi's Touch series. I don't think I've seen that one. What was the isekai? That guy went in flush toilet and then some yaoi things. Man, that was my first isekai. I have no idea. I don't know if that's a troll or I don't know. I don't know. I don't even remember anything like that. That sounds bizarre. Should I watch Macross franchise? Top Gun sequel makes me want to watch the old Jet Fighter anime. I would wait, because, well, I mean, you can find it obviously, but they are actually going to do like a full release of all the old stuff here soon on Blu-ray, and I cannot wait. Actually got all the ones for Right Stuff. I've already put in a waiting list for them to send me those copies, which should be out soon, right? Super excited for the Macross to finally get releases over here. That has been like one of the biggest tragedies of animes is Macross, and to finally have all these companies finally doing physical releases of them is just, I'm overjoyed. I'm legit overjoyed. Been an anime fan for 6.5 years. Well, you got some time on you. You at least got past the 3-hour or the 3-year trope around people dropping off. The isekai with the guy being sent down a toilet to another world, I think, is from early 2000s. It's not dual. It's not this, is it? Dual Parallel. I watched Dual Parallel. It was actually pretty funny, and I wouldn't doubt that this is how he got there, because I don't remember how he got transported. It doesn't say how he's transported. This is a stupid show, though. He gets transported to another world, but they're only females pilot mechas. So this doctor like makes him a suit that gives him, and then he's able to pilot. It was stupid. I enjoyed it though. It was funny. No, it's not dual. Okay. Like I said, it was dumb. It was a dummy isekai, so I wouldn't doubt that was how he got over there. Yeah, I think one of my earliest isekais that I watched was Monster Rancher, and that was on television too. Monster Rancher was technically an isekai, and it was one of the earliest isekais I ever watched. It's probably one of the earliest isekais that was ever in the West, if I think. Because I mean, we had like El Hazard. That was later, I think. Inuyasha was technically later. I can't think of anything that would have predated that on American television. Yeah, Hack was later too. Like, I don't know the Japanese title for Monster Rancher. What's the Japanese title for Monster Rancher? Yeah, Escaflowne was a isekai, but I think Monster Rancher was before then on television. What's the Japanese title for Monster Rancher? Anime Kami, what's going on, man? Glad you can make the stream. Yeah, Ray Earth as well. Let me see what Monster Rancher's title was. It is listed Monster Farm. Monster Farm. That was 1999. Maybe I'm thinking isekai video games. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Because yeah, technically Escaflowne would be in before then. It's been a while before I could stay at whole stream. Monster Rancher was like super depressing too. Like well, the game was. So to have like this little bubbly anime out of it, it's like doesn't make any sense, because I remember when I played Monster Rancher, they died. Like your monsters died after a while. It wasn't a fun and fluffy time for everybody. Anyways, I keep telling myself I'm going to figure out what was the point in which I dropped off of anime. I want to say one of the final ones that I downloaded and watched. I remember watching Gunsmith Cats. I remember watching... the heck was this called? What's the English title? Midori no Hibidays. That's right. Midori no Hibidays. This was super cute. Midori no Hibidays was super cute. Like, super, super cute. YouTube live stream instead of a Twitch live stream. Yeah, I talked about it quite a bit at the very beginning. It was just more of I want to do something for the YouTube crowd. That I know not everybody can go to Twitch or wants to go to Twitch. So I thought I would suffer the YouTube algorithms and possible strikes to come over here. Tsukimi Moon Phase, Beck, I watched all those back then. Rose and Maiden, I watched. Genjikin. Jeez, how far did I get before I dropped off? I've been wanting to go back and watch Midori no Hibi Days, or read the manga. Never got a chance to. I watched Shuffle. I watched this, Crest of Stars. Watched Sakuga no Shana. Watched the original Mushishi. Jeez, I went along a lot further than I thought I did. I thought I wanted to say that I stopped like way early 2000s. Watched Pumpkin Scissors, Death Note, Code Geass. No, I watched Code Geass later. Was it here? I want to say no, because I watched Sayonara Zeppa Sensei. Gosh, I went further than I thought I did. I want to say it was around here. I want to say it was around 2007. I think around 2007 is when I fell off of anime. Like I said, I thought I dropped off around 2005. But I apparently went a lot longer than I thought I did. Yeah, Blood Plus was really great. I would love them to redo Blood Plus. That would be really awesome. Yes, Death Note dub is fantastic. I'm going to take a chip and eat it. Genshiken's... Is it underrated? I think, unless it's like a recent thing, I think people really loved Genshiken when it was back, when it first released. Clanad ruined anime. That was exactly it. I watched Clanad never again. I want to say that I went back and watched After Story at the same time, but I want to say around 2007 is when I dropped off. Like I said, I thought it was much earlier. It wasn't that I dropped off of anime. At the time, around the late 2000s, I was watching anime, and at some point, I started getting really into video games. And I started doing video game coverage. Me and Chris started up a website, and I was actually working for a... It's one of those ones where you're working for them, but you're really just getting exposure. So you're not really getting paid. I was working for a couple of video game websites and actually doing reviews for them. And I was helping one site with our community with a podcast. And then at some point, me and Chris started up a podcast. What was the first one? Hold on a second. Let me think. We started up a podcast that was like mostly games, but Chris was doing a lot of anime, and I would watch anime every now and then. And then that transitioned into doing a site and podcast that was more anime driven. And then eventually, finally, it just became Otaku Spirit. Suddenly, I don't know where it just turned into Otaku Spirit. And that's when we launched Otaku Spirit. I took most of the podcast episodes that were anime related, and I pushed them over to Otaku Spirit. What was the launch date? Does anybody know offhand what the launch date was? If I can spell the admin panel. If I even have my login. I don't have my login in here. I'm curious when we launched the actual website. I have to actually look in the back end for the launch day. There it is. Gosh, it was 2014. So 2014 was the official launch day for Otaku Spirit. That's when we completely took the podcast and everything that we were doing, which was mostly Chris, but me doing a little bit as well of anime. And then we just kind of turned to just strictly focusing on anime. And I was still doing a little bit of gaming stuff still, but the focus kind of strictly turned to nothing but anime. And that's pretty much where everything started. Yes. It was. Well, no, I didn't. Yeah, I went to WoW when it first launched, and I was in it until Lich King. Lich King is where it died for me. Lich King killed WoW for me. I just stopped playing it at some point. What's the story on the Taco Spirit avatar picture? The one that's in the corner here? Or the one right here? Or or the Spirit Chan one? They all have stories. This was like a long time ago before we were making money, and I just wanted to put Azanya in the picture. And then I realized that we were starting to, get Patreon going and stuff, so I didn't want to get in trouble with having Azanya on my stuff, even though she's still there in some places. So we paid for we paid for somebody to make Spirit Chan, and then the one down here, this is where Ira from our community in Discord decided to throw Speedchan inside of an AI and have it produce a cute little shrine girl. So that's an AI produced Spirit Chan. Yeah, the reason why Lich King killed it for me was because every class became homogenized. And I was big on like the uniqueness of things like bear tanks and stuff like that, and just felt like it made everything the same. And so I got sick of it. And I just got tired of the grind. Like that was about the time where I stopped like mainstreaming, main rating. So I just got, yeah, I got killed in the Cataclysm. The Cataclysm took out my character. But no, I stopped main rating because like in like Burning Crusade and stuff, I went super hardcore. Now Genshin kills other games for you. Nah, it's just Genshin's the only one that I could have enough time for, and it gives me enough enjoyment to jump in and jump out of. But no, like I said, we were doing podcasting, we were doing a website, which I think are pretty much all down at this point and thrown away. But it was really, we were not seeking that we're not seeing that we're getting a huge massive growth or anything. It just felt fun. Like me and Chris really kind of bonded through it. And I almost felt like me and him watching anime together kind of brought us closer together. Because again, my experience with my eldest brother, I have two brothers, Chris, my experience with him all the way up until I think I was in like late high school, never really bonded with Chris. Like me and Chris never connected really. He was the older brother. Let me throw some shade at Chris. He was the big grown up, and I always seen him as this person acting like the big grown up brother. Never liked him, and it wasn't. And we would connect every now and then with something. Like he would have a game or something. We'd play something together, and we would connect here and there, but we weren't really like super close. I guess we just bumped heads too often, and that would cause a separation. And then we'd find something to connect on for a little bit, and then we'd have a fight and we'd separate. But we weren't like super close. I don't know. I just don't remember us being that bonded. Me and our other brother were super close because we were like a year off from each other. We were always watching each other's back in school and stuff like that. So we were always hanging out. We were always watching each other's back and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't until I think that point, which Chris was doing a lot of the anime stuff in the late 2000s going into 2010s. And we started watching stuff together. We started having a lot of fun watching anime together. And that kind of got into those two websites that we did on the side. And eventually it was like, bam. Suddenly we're just doing nothing but watching anime. We launched Taku Spirit. We launched the forums on otakuspirit.com. And it just kind of took off from there. And it wasn't that we were seeing... I wasn't even watching the numbers. Like, me and Chris were not really looking at the numbers of what viewerships... Or not viewerships, but listenerships we were getting from the podcast. Taku Spirit Anime Cast was just something that we did. We set dates. Every week, we were going to make a podcast episode. We put it up. We talk about anime, we review anime, we're watching everything, and it was all spawned from one concept. Otaku Spirit was one major core concept. There was plenty of podcasts out there. There was plenty of people covering anime, but the one thing they didn't have was positivity. You can find a ton of podcasts, but it was just mostly what me and Chris were finding was that every podcast out there seemed to be doing well. They had a listenership, they had viewers, but they were taking the route that all you do is just bash. And yes, that gets clicks. I could probably wake up tomorrow, make a video about how stupid Chainsaw Man is, and here's why. And I bet you I'd get crap tons of views. And the next day I'll make another video saying, sorry guys, I gotta let y'all know, Boat to the Rock looks crappy. I bet you I get tons of views. And I think a lot of people see that. It's harder to make content where you're positive than content that you're negative. Rage clicks is so easy. And I think a lot of people, and honestly, entertainment through, it's easier to make entertaining stuff through bashing than it is positivity. It's hard to get somebody to laugh about how great a show is. It's easy to make somebody laugh if you bash something. We do it every now and then. I'm not saying that we don't do that. I mean, Shinobi no Itoki. Me and Chris had a lot of fun making fun of the first episode on our podcast. So it happens still. But it is entertainment through that. Not that me and Chris are always trying to make people laugh. I think if we're trying to make people laugh, then we're failing. Because if you try to make people laugh, you're either a comedian or you're just trying too hard. But I think me and Chris try to inform more than anything. Our unique thing has been positivity, informing, and covering as much stuff as possible. That was 3 things I just didn't really see anybody doing at the time. And I was actively looking for podcasts. I was looking for content creators, and all I could find was people that just hated the shows I loved. Everybody hated these shows I enjoyed. And then it dawned on me at that point, it was like, at the time, a while back, I don't know if anybody knows what Tech TV is, Screensavers, Leo Laporte. I used to listen to Leo, but I used to watch a lot of Leo Report stuff. Leo Laporte. He started doing his own podcast, and it's something popped in my head that he said at some point. If you find that you can't find that thing you're looking for, make it. I don't know if he was quoting somebody else, but I kind of really enjoyed his content for the longest time, so I kind of, when he said that, it stuck with me. And so when I realized at some point I'm saying I can't find somebody that likes anime, and all these people keep bashing stuff that I enjoy, I'll make it. I'll make the podcast where we try as hard as possible to be positive. And that's what made Otaku Spirit, and I think that positivity we had around anime, I think resonated with a lot of people. It probably doesn't resonate with a lot of younger audience, doesn't resonate with the entirety audience, but that's what we focused on. It was something that a lot of people noticed. I mean, we didn't point it out, and people noticed it. And it was like, thank you. You've noticed that that's what we were going for. Yeah, I used to watch. I used to be in IT. When I grew up, I got into IT. That was the field I went into, and so Leo Report was like where I got all my information from. Twit was pretty much my go-to to have an entertaining update on all tech stuff, because there was a lot of stuff that I had to get. When you're in the IT field, you have to keep up with a lot of information. So he was kind of an easy way to digest a lot of information at the same time. So, but anyways, that's the birth of Otaku Spirit. And like I said earlier, it was the podcast for the longest time that we were focusing on. We've seen a lot of numbers. I think the last time I checked our podcast, we were getting a good 400,000 unique downloads a month. It obviously fluctuates. That's an average. There's some months that do a lot better. Obviously, beginning of the months or beginning of the seasons, end of the seasons, end of year, a lot of those do exceptionally well. The music podcast episodes do really well. But we got to that point where we were getting a large audience through our podcast, and that was kind of enough for us. And of course, over time, a lot of people wanted some ways to support us. That's why we launched the Patreon, so people can support us there. And it was always still kind of a hobby thing. Chris doesn't like to show up on camera. He just doesn't have as much time as I do. That's why I'm doing the YouTube stuff full time. He's still working, so he doesn't have as much time as I do, or he's not doing this full time. I would love down the road, if this YouTube channel grows enough, we can get to that point where both Chris and I are full time doing this stuff. We can start doing like, I'd love to set up a studio and everything to record all of our stuff and sit down and talk. We have the ISP that can support doing live stream our podcast and stuff like that. I would love to do it eventually. What may be interested in your stuff, except you being one of the only Mr. Tensei Night Novel reviewers, is your knowledge and more based opinion than crap takes on from Gigak, for example. Gigak, I do enjoy Gigak every now and then. He's at least decently positive most of the time. He still kind of gets wrapped up in the, oh my gosh, more isekais this season. My gosh, stop the isekais. But he has fun. Yeah, we had Chris on the video for the Jast interview, even though he was over in the corner like this, like out of the dark, out of the light of the cameras and everything. He was kind of just hidden off the side, acting like I stunk or something like that. Yeah, he's the only Trash Taste one that I actually watch any of his content. The other two, I don't even really know much about them, nor do I care. Not that that's a bad thing. I'm not throwing shade. Don't get them. No, anyways, don't get their fandom after me. Honestly, I get that from your videos. Positivity information is what I really do get from chat. Yeah, it's funny because every now and then when I do like want to get like a little heated on something, it sets people off. They're like, dude, why are you being so negative on this thing? And I'm like, I just wanted to say a little bit of criticisms. Like, it's even harder for me like to push back on anything because I think people are so used to that positivity that like if I get slightly negative, it's like, why are you suddenly negative? It's like, I didn't think I was that bad. Was it that bad? Like Rent a Girlfriend. Oh, of course, I didn't get much heat with my Rent a Girlfriend takes. I made 5 videos on Domestic Girlfriend. Yeah, and like, when was no, I think that was way later on. But no, anyways, to finish up, eventually, like I said, we were doing the podcast for the longest time. We were strictly going for a weekly release. Over time that we added certain regulars, such as the discussional podcast episodes. We were doing first impressions, reviews. We were doing mid-season for the longest time. We stopped doing that. Music podcast episodes was one of the biggest hits. Everybody loved that we did those. The forums at some point blew up. We had a lot of people jumping on the forums, even though a lot of people hated the idea of going to a forums because we were getting to the age of, gosh, forums are for boomers kind of mentality from a lot of people. Then we had a blow up on the forums. The forums died. I don't want to get too much into details about that. We've moved on. And then at some point, the forums literally code-wise died. And that started the Discord. And that's kind of where we've gotten until now. There was at some point, like I said, I don't know, 2016-ish, that I started doing YouTube. But it was only unboxings. So we had the podcast was all of our anime-related stuff. And the YouTube channel was strictly for unboxing all this stuff up here. Because at the time I had a decently paying job. And so I had a lot of disposable income to buy a lot of this stuff. And so that was pretty much what the YouTube channel was until 2021. When I moved to California, or back to California. And I decided at that point, okay, I have a nest egg. everybody keeps saying, hey, it would be really cool if you did this stuff full time. So I'm like, yeah, it would be really cool. I'm in between jobs. I have an opportunity. I have a nest egg. Let's try to make it happen. So that's the point early, starting to 2011 or 21, that I decided I'm going to try to make this full time. That's when I really kind of launched the YouTube channel, really started hitting heavy on that stuff. And 2 years later, I think we've grown, like, I don't know. I would argue most of our channel, the 7,800 subs. I think of the 7,800 subs that we have on the YouTube channel, I would say probably a good 4,000 of those are legacy. I don't know that there are even people that still view my content, but they are good to have there. I mean, I if I could purge, I probably would. I don't think most of our subs are, I think they're legacy. They might still be watching the content, but they're still nice there to have because they're legacy. They're still subs to put a number on there. But we've probably grown like 4,000 since launching it. And we went from, I think, early 2021. Wasn't getting that many views, honestly. When the YouTube first launched, we weren't really doing fantastic, and I think that was really mainly because I was hoping that a lot of our podcast listeners would transition to YouTube and watch the content on YouTube. But I think for a majority of our podcast listeners, they're a completely different audience. I would argue that most people that listen to podcasts are traveling. They're just on the road all the time. They're not YouTube viewers. YouTube viewers aren't podcast listeners. They just watch their YouTube videos and that's it. So the YouTube channel was literally me having to create a whole new audience. And I think early in 2021, that was something I had to come to grips with. Like, I had to come to grips that even though our podcast was doing so freaking well, that I wasn't going to suddenly be able to copy paste our viewership over to YouTube. I was going to have to build a new audience. Yes, there are some people that listen to our podcast and watch our videos. I'm not saying that there's nobody, but for the most part, they're two different audiences. Yes. Okay. To explain that, to explain myself, Fernand, to explain myself. Yes, I really badly want to go back and delete my old videos. Yes, headphones at work. They're night shifters. They are forklift drivers. They're truck drivers. We have a lot of truck drivers that listen to our podcast. Again, not the same. It's just not the same audience. And so, again, we had to rebuild it. But no, to defend myself, yes, my early YouTube videos suck. Every time I go back to watch them, I cringe. I cringe at my old videos. I had to figure out composition, placement of the camera. All that stuff really sucked early on. But to give myself some credit, let me show you what a podcaster looks like when they're recording a podcast. Hello, you're listening to Otaku Spirit Anime Cast. My name is Andrew, and I'm joined here with Chris. Today's episode is our fall 2022 anime season reviews. That was me on my first videos on the YouTube channel, was me doing this. Because podcast recording is all about making sure that your voice is hitting that microphone so it sounds as clear as possible. The recording takes it up, and then you can alter it afterwards. Whereas, yes, when you're recording a YouTube video, you need to do this whole thing. You need to move around and excite people. And so that's why that's really what it was. My early YouTube videos was me still in podcaster mode with no expression, talking into the microphone like this. So yeah, I think my what was my earliest videos? What's up, guys? This is Andrew with Otaku Spirit. I'm gonna be launching a YouTube channel here. I think it's gonna be really fantastic. I know we've just been talking about it for a long time, so I figured, hey, why not try it? So here we are. Let's try this. It's like, no, I'm acknowledging it, Philip. I'm legit just telling you why. I hate watching those videos. Like I said, I legit want to go back and just delete them all. And that's like I was talking about earlier when I was talking about, I think I've done a full walkthrough of my introduction and my life in anime. And I almost wanted to delete it. because it sucks. Like, I will re-record, and that's something I should do regularly. I want to re-record my top 10 anime of all time video. It just sucks. Like, what are we talking about here? Let me. We'll talk about it a bunch, and I just won't watch it. Let's see. Let me see if we can find it. When did I log into this browser? I usually don't log into my browsers when I'm live streaming. Content. God, it's like so far back there. Stop. You're gonna make me verify myself, YouTube? Oh my gosh. What? I feel like I'm getting fished because it's making me do some weird stuff right now. What are you asking me to do? Oh, there it is. They tell you. Okay, that was a weird side tangent. Top anime. Let me see if I can find my first top anime video. Oh my gosh, my stupid looking thumbnails too. The thumbnails are so bad. Oh, we're still watching this though. This is gonna be great. I don't want to play for a second here. Oh gosh, this is terrible. What's up, everybody? It is time for me to do the unspeakable. Yes, it is time for me to list my top 10 favorite anime of all time.
I look so mad.
Like a lot of angry people because I didn't have their favorite anime in my list. But yes, I always like doing these lists. I actually like seeing
It's like
these lists
watching
because I
like
to
your
see what
10-year-old
people
self.
love so much that they're willing to put in that very small 10 slot bracket that often makes us weep to do, and it made me weep to do this. If you ask me in a couple minutes, I'll probably have changed my mind because just
I'm so concerned with staying near it.
Oh yeah, I remember that one anime and I loved it so much.
I look exactly the same.
But for right now,
I do have the same haircut right now.
My top
I just
10
recently
favorite
cut
anime
it,
of all
so.
time. It's not gonna be.
But no, like the angle of the camera and everything. I changed it to be more high position, which kind of helps a little bit with composition. Yeah, this is at my brother's house over in California. So the same shelves, but I had to like position them differently because I had a raised ceiling. But it was just so bad. The bed in the background, like the pillow back here. Yeah, it's just, it's so bad. It's absolutely bad. It feels off. It feels off. It feels super off. I'm constantly looking at the mic. Well, I was afraid he'd walk away from me. I'm telling you, this is a top 10 thing that makes me happy. I felt like I was gonna offend everybody. But no, it's learning. It's learning over time. Learning to be more... I mean, that's just like live streaming. Live streaming is super difficult. Like, trying to find something to keep talking about, keep the progress moving, keep people entertained, keep the next subject coming up. You run into those points in which you realize that the chat stops and you want to keep moving forward. Like, when this live stream started, the flow of conversation kept coming from the chat. And I can keep bouncing off it. And at some point, you realize it slows down, it stops. And then you have to transition. Okay, let's bring up the next subject, move on to the next thing. It's very difficult. I give a lot of people a lot of credit for that aren't just reaction streamers. There's so many reaction streamers now. It's not even funny. Like, most people, all they do is just open up the next video to react to. But people that actually keep a conversation going for a long time. That's why I moved to moving live streams once a week, because I didn't want to keep doing game streams, which I still want to do every now and then, but
I wanted to do an anime strictly. I couldn't do a live stream anime chat every day. I would run out of things to talk about. But yeah, I give live streamers a lot of credit that just actually talk and keep the conversation going. Two-step verification style. Live streamers get to understand the difficulties of sport commentator, right? You just gotta make up your own crap. All right. Well, sports commentators, they get stuff handed to them most of the time. I mean, there's a lot of sports commentators that happen to go based on what's on the field, but some of them get a lot of stuff given to them to talk about. Okay, there's nothing happening on the field. All right. Susie hands them a piece of paper that talks about their, this guy ended up picking up this person. Yeah, Sea-Dog has the advantage of being a voice actor. I mean, I do have a lot of voicing that I can do, but I haven't done it in so long, I'm probably terrible at it. Yeah, I've been going on for longer than I thought the stream. I legit had enough for this live stream to go for maybe an hour, but thankfully, a lot of people showed up, and we had a lot of fun conversation out of that, so it ended up working out. Yeah, I used to do a lot of voicing. Here's another side tangent for me growing up. I know, shocker to everybody. Hold on a second. I hope you're all sitting down. I wasn't the thinnest boy growing up. So a lot of my saving my own butt growing up was being the class clown. And a lot of that came from me just doing random stupid voices. So I've done a few of them on the podcast, but I haven't done them a long time ago. But I could have done it at some point. I would probably even I think at some point in my life I wanted to be a voice actor. But just like everything else that I dream of doing when I was growing up, I wanted to be a vet at some point. And I lost my first dog and I said, never mind. I don't want to do that as a job. Putting down dogs in front of some small crying child didn't sound very fun to me. Most hardcore sport commentators I've heard are those that Tour de France. There's so little things happening that they struggle to fill the face. But there's so many sports commentators that definitely make the sport itself more exciting than it actually is, and I give them a massive amount of credits for it. I used to post my ramblings on Discord chat, not a talking spirit, and everyone didn't respond, just my wall of text. I don't think I could just talk like that how I chat. There was a time where I was more, when I was first getting into MMOs, starting with like Ultima Online back in like, what, 98? There was a time where that was just me. Like I was super chatty to everybody online, and I wasn't as social because by the time that I got into Ultima Online, I had moved twice, and I got tired. I just didn't want to make friends anymore. Like me, at that time, I just didn't want to make friends. Online became my existence because it was just easier to make friends. You got in a guild or something, and you quickly met people. It was so easy to meet people. And so that made it to where, like, anything outside of the game itself, I just didn't want to talk to anybody. Like, I went to school, didn't talk to anybody. It helped, but it's not like it broke me. How old are you? How would you ask somebody their age? You should never ask somebody their age. I'm in my 30s. That's all I'm gonna say. Yikes, for sure. Late 30s. We're the best esports commentators? I have no idea. You'd have to ask Mr. Crisps. Ask Mr. Crisps. I don't know. You're not a girl. How do you know that? I've never taken my shirt off. Why? Oh, the beard. It's the beard. Is that right? Is that what tips you off? Huh. Oh, he thought I was older than you? I'm getting up there, but it's so funny. If I shave, I look like I'm in my 20s. My dad had like the most insane like genes. We're like part Indian. So, my dad looked like super young, even into his 50s. Maurice's age, so I can relate to God. What? Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, and that was the thing I noticed when we were doing our podcast for so long, is that our sense of humor and everything, and not being as dumb as we probably could have been, really did set most of our audience to a certain age. We were getting mostly people that were, you know, working and listening to podcasts at work and stuff like that. I don't think we did have a lot of young listeners and stuff, but it wasn't that much. Most of our listeners were end up being adults, which I was fine with. It's one of those things where I don't really want to push to be something I'm not. So I kind of accepted it in the end. Dying species. Yeah, me and Chris were seeking to get all the retirement money out of people. If we can stream, if we can do our podcast long enough and capture all the old folks, eventually some of them will start throwing their retirements our direction, and this is getting really bad. I'm sorry. It's a joke. You know, it's a joke. All those reverse mortgages will throw in our directions. Can never catch your stream because I'm at work. Today is the second time, I think. Yeah, and sadly, this is about the only time that I can. I eventually want to get to a point where I can start doing morning and night streams, like back and forth. Mainly because a lot of our, I would even argue a lot of my viewers and a lot of our listeners are not even in the United States. And the way I know that for viewers as well is because a lot of my videos, they don't do very well when I first post them, but then overnight they get a whole bunch of views. And so I feel like a lot of people that came over from our podcast and stuff and technically on YouTube in general are from other, you know, they're not from the States. Which I really love. Because I find most of our most supporting listeners and viewers are like not even in America. A lot of really fantastic people from Australia, Canada. We used to have a few people in Japan that used to talk to us on a regular basis. We used to have a whole segment from somebody that was in Japan long time ago. Yeah, Sabanasu only off by an hour from me. You don't have no right to complain, Sabanasu. No, and that's what sucked with our interview with J-List. Like, Peter from J-List, he was in Japan when we did that interview, and it was such a pain in the butt to get some sort of tie-in with him. Yeah, that sucked. You can still be special in America, yes. I just want to be inclusive. Don't get mad at me. Even though the whole world hates Americans, I still love you, King. plus you like more stuff than you hate of mine that I like, so America number one. America number one. That's the other problem. I can't do my voicing anymore because everything that I used to voice is offensive now. That's the sucky thing. Like, times have changed, so like I would say at least a quarter of the voices I used to be able to do is too offensive to do now. That's what sucks. Yes, Otaku Spirit is a boomer farmer. Exactly. We're farming for boomers. If we can get that boomer money, we're good. Hey, it's 2022. You don't know. You don't know you could still be a girl. Exactly. Hey, my parents, my mom really badly wanted a girl. I was the third and last, and she badly wanted a girl. So I'm not embarrassed to say it now because I'm an adult, but she used to wish I was the girl. I had a few times for Halloween I was dressed up as a girl. I even dressed up like my teacher one time. That was a lot of fun though. I did that because I really liked that teacher. Drop date, I'm from Cali, so it's 7:46. Yeah, you're still good. You're still good in the timeline right now. Yes, it was like no, this was legit funny. It was my this is my 4th grade teacher, I think. I think it was my 4th grade teacher. Absolutely loved her. She was just the sweetest lady ever. Really supportive, really attentive. She was like, of all the teachers in my childhood, she was the only one that I can legit say, this lady is one of those teachers that you just wish they got paid a whole bunch because they did a fantastic job what they did. But no, everybody in the class loved her. She was fantastic. Legit, I wanted to dress up as her for Halloween, and my grandma had like legit everything I needed to look exactly like her, same dress and everything. So it turned out hilarious. I kind of wish I might be able to find it. There's got to be a picture out there somewhere. I would love to find that picture. I'd have to open up like an OnlyFans, and only the fans get to see that picture. It's like sign up for my OnlyFans to see me in this dress when I was young. Like Roxy in short. It's literally like a little bit past midnight, Nartina. I guess that makes sense. I am offended by people who find your voices offensive, right? OnlyFans for figures. Yeah, I can legit do that. There's I have a few cast-off figures. How many cast-off figures do I have? Technically, my Angel Beats figure, the one with the wings, is a cast-off. It's very difficult to do, but it is. My Edity Spencer is a cast-off. The Wedding Rem is a cast-off. The Rem made version has a lower cast-off. Yui Yui Gahama is a low cast-off. A lot of these are just low-end cast-offs because the skirts are removable. Shigeri is cast-off. Rin Tasaka Archer version sort of a cast-off. School version of Saber is a low cast-off. Same for Saber Alter, Good Smile Company. I think that's it. That's all the one I have. Oh, Holo's sort of fun, but she's got like bloomers underneath, so who cares? Anyways. That was a good interview, the one with J-List. He was really great. Admittedly, when we did an interview with Peter, it was difficult to put together, but the main problem that I ran into in the end was that I was hoping that he was wanting to discuss more. We had him on because we wanted to talk really heavy on the censorship of retail in the West with the buyout of Right Stuff. And at some point, I realized that he was still technically working with Right Stuff. And so any kind of hard-hitting questions I could ask him, I didn't want to. Or I did ask a couple of them, and it didn't seem like they were going anywhere. So I decided not to even keep staring at that direction. So it did end up not being as... It didn't go in the direction I was kind of hoping, but we still had a lot of fun. It was still a fun conversation. We still hit a lot of really fun topics like stress relief and stuff like that and what they were doing there. So, and again, the problem that comes from it is that unfortunately interviews don't really do again as well as most other content. So, and he never gave me that stinking book. I need to call him out on the podcast at some point. J-List never gave me that book. He's like, yeah, send me your address. I'll send that book right over to you. He never sent it to me. Lying sack of crap. Peter, lying sack of crap. Do you like anime more or better nowadays? Nowadays. More content, writing's better. I'll admit it's not as graphic and violent and psychological. There's not as much violence, graphic violence, psychological stuff these days than you used to have. But for the most part, a lot of the content just has better writing, better pacing, sometimes less quality animation, but for the most part, it's doing better. There's better selection. There's more for more people. Yeah, there's pros and cons. And yeah, I would admit that back in the day, just like straight hand-drawn animation is unfortunately kind of a lost art. Watching some of these older shows where you just know every frame was hand done, hand painted, hand scanned, it's truly something special. I mean, that's like these pull these down again. We were just talking about this show earlier. I'm gonna go here to the full cam. Back to the full cam. Like, that's just, to think that this is like one of just hundreds and hundreds of frames for like a segment is just, again, like it's a lost art. Like this cell, whenever I see a cell, it's amazing. Yeah, it's Key Metal Idol. I also have another one. Oh. I used to watch Mandarake looking for cells. Mandarake is actually really good for getting cells. I only managed to get 2 of them that I really wanted for the price. That's Oh My Goddess. It's crazy to think, like, again, this is just a single frame of segment. Somebody hand drew it, they sketched it in, they just hand painted it, and then they scanned it in. It's good stuff. Oh, there was one of Beldandi that I ran into, but I didn't want to pay the exorbitant amount for the bad shot that it was. But these were really cheap though. I mean, you can find some of those cells on Mandarake for like $30. It's just you have to see them before somebody else buys them. That's legit. Like, I was refreshing every day looking at them. Yeah, so that's essentially how it works. Actually, I have a good example. I don't know how easy it is for me to get to it, but it'd be a perfect example for you. Oh. Yoink. Figure boxes, please don't follow me. This should be it. Sorry, Yuki. That one? No. This one? I think this one. I just need to get like a wide shot of this room so I can just grab things and hold it up. This is a recreation, technically, but it gives you an idea. Oh my gosh, like 5 layers of stuff! I already did that with Eddie Spencer. I'm not doing that again. Actually, I should wash my hands before I open this up. Yeah, let me wash my hands before I open this up. I don't want to get anything on this. Technically, I should have done the other ones, but they're still in a wrap. No, when I was holding up my Eddie Spencer on one of my live streams, I had Genshin Impact on in the background, and Ganyu was making some weird noises, and somebody clipped it. Let me figure out how to do this again. So this is what it is. I got this from Aniplex USA at some point during Unlimited Blade Works. So it's it's technically what I have behind me as a wall scroll. It's a little differently though. And what this is, I really wish I can get something to set this up to display it. Is, God, which direction to come out here?
Yeah, thankfully YouTube doesn't have a clipping feature, so people can't clip me doing stupid stuff. Okay, there we go. I got it. Holy crap. Yeah, it technically does have like layers to it and a frame, but it's not protected. Yes, people die when they're killed. So the question earlier was, is this how they do the backgrounds and stuff? Like I said, they basically have a see-through transparent sheet they're drawing on, and then they're technically sketching on paper, and then they paint onto a clear translucent sheet, and then they have a background artist that makes a background, and the background stays still while the characters' frames are changing. So you have, and this is a really good display of it, somebody sketches it. So there's the first part. And then they'll put a translucent sheet on top of it. And then they'll paint it onto there. So that's where they painted it on top of that sketch. And so now they have a foreground character on top of a background. And that's basically your frame of anime, is you had a background and a foreground character that's changing over time. So it's pretty cool. That answers your question. So yes, if this was an animated frame, this front part would change each frame. The background would stay there, but the foreground characters would be changing each frame to walk around. And so every shot that you have where they're changing perspectives, they're having to make a new background, and then each keyframe going from position to position. But yeah, that's what I kind of liked about this whole thing when I bought it. Was like, it's literally a production. It's almost like a production. It was made for a wallpaper wall scroll, but they ended up making it into a production cell frame. No! Don't hit the other side. This is actually decently cheap when I bought it, if I remember correctly. If I can get it back in here. I don't want Shiro to die when he's killed. Oh, shoot. Oh, I see the questions. I'm gonna get this back in here and protected before... Oh no! My sleeve is ripping. I'm gonna have to get a new sleeve soon. I have a couple things that I really want to find a way to frame them. I almost want to get a call out. I'm sure somebody that's listening to the podcast or whatever does frames and stuff. I'd love to find somebody that can frame this stuff. More so than that, I want a frame of this. I want to frame this thing. Any Grisaya fans? I freaking love this thing. It is literally my favorite art. Favorite character. And the print is so freaking good. But like, canvases are like impossible to frame. Because you can't just like... You can't just slide this into a frame. You can get like a frame to go around it to encapsulate it. But this is exposed, so you almost have to have like you have to have a glass front, and there has to be, yeah, it has to be special. It has to be like a gap made so that the glass is not touching the actual paint. It's a pain. But the colors are gorgeous. I love it so much. Fruit of Kasaya is what she's from. Again, we had a forum that was like just major fans of Grisaya, and they pretty much pushed me into buying that. And I love it. Side note, but Hitomu from Memorial Guild, the dog girl, is like the only animal person that I've seen with paws for feet. Yeah, it's very unique. I love it. She's great. Animation as a whole is a beautiful, amazing art form. I agree. Again, it's one of those things that's why I love it as much as I do. It's unique, special, adult, matches so many genres and groups of people. Yeah, I have the whole set of games. I have like the unlocked Dimpasoft version and the disc versions. I never played it though. Again, we had a forum group that was like super heavy into Grisaya, and they kind of pushed me into doing the Kickstarter, and I never touched it after that. I started playing the very beginning, but I didn't stick with it too long. We may be joking with the OnlyFans for figures, but it will only probably make a huge live stream Patreon draw with enough lead time buzz. You could do it. Andrew, are you on the Meshuggah Tensei Discord? There's a freelancer who worked on Meshuggah Tensei Season 1 there named Evakoi, who like to answer questions about animation if you're interested. No, I'm not on the Meshuggah Tensei Discord. That'd be interesting, though. So he was actually in the studio. Do you know what kind of work that he did? Was this animation? The fact that he made a few animations of Meshuggah Tensei, if I recall correctly. It's like some in-betweens or something. He worked on the Blu-ray special scene with Elon on episode 21, amongst other. There was a special scene for the Blu-ray of Elon. Why am I just learning about this? I only knew about the one new scene at the very beginning. Is there other stuff they added in the Blu-ray? You do some visual novel live streams. I was doing Clanad for a while, but again, didn't seem like really many people wanted to watch it, so I didn't want to put the time aside to do that. I would still like to go back to doing it. It's just, again, another one that's kind of a time issue. Are you reading any manga at the moment, or don't have enough time? Just wondering about picking up and reading anything you're reading. I have read Clannad, or not. Just talking about Clannad. I have read Claymore, A Silent Voice, School Live, which I recommend all three of those. I am way late into Noragami, which I absolutely adore. I think that's it. Oh, I read Happiness. It's okay. Inside Mari, fantastic. And I read Attack on Titan. I finished Attack on Titan through the manga, which I don't recommend. Like the only manga that I do not recommend that I've actually read all the way through is Attack on Titan. I don't like the Attack on Titan manga. I've never really liked it. The mangaka talks in circles all the time. Like those H scenes that were blacked out in the TV. I didn't know there was anything blacked out. I guess there was. I don't remember. Boom, I've love stream. I have a lot of requests for that one, so that's definitely high up there if I ever do decide. Sounds awesome. A smelling interview with the guy by chance. Would love to see questions that you would have with him and answers that, from the Meshuggah guy. Yeah, I'll look into it. I do want to start doing more interviews. Even though the whole J-List thing didn't really turn out that great, I still enjoy doing them. I've heard from a couple of other people that it seems like interviews just don't do well in general. Which seems really weird because a lot of people request interviews, but at the same time they don't do good. I don't know. It's weird. Patreon title would be what to get your weave for Xmas. That'd be interesting. I mean, I would love to do like a buy suggestions. I think that there's a little bit of a market with that. Inside Baseball, sort of whisper, nudge, nudge. Obviously, Right Stuff is coming up for their big holiday sales. I do have some promotion things that I'll be helping them with. So just know that by the end of this month, there will be
of the usual Right Stuff sales. I'll be doing some coupon giveaways. I'll obviously have affiliate links so people can help support the website, Talk Spirit, and all that kind of stuff by if you're buying stuff there. Use our affiliate link. We get a little bit of a kickback, but it'd be interesting to see if there's something in there that would be a fun thing to make a video on for suggestions for people that aren't really in the anime know to buy their family. Spawn Zenithine is one of that blacked out in the episode 1. They didn't even show it, like legit. Like that was like a completely different scene. Like all you really got from the whole Paul Zenith thing was that he went out his door one time and seen Roxy out there while they were doing something. This is like a completely different scene they had in the Blu-ray, which looking forward to. Hopefully within the next 2 weeks they'll release that. Usually Right Stuff gets Blu-rays early. Hopefully we'll get that soon. There a rewatch Clonod. It would throw the visual novel because I'm curious about source material. I know the source material is like super good. Like I read a bit of the source material, or I did a stream one time where we did like what we did. The Dorm Mothers one, because everybody said that was the first one you have to do, and then we started doing Tomoyo, and then we stopped. Which is weird because that was the one that I wanted to do was Tomoyo. But eventually I'll get back to it. So. It's the unfortunate issue of time, as usual. Anyways, it is getting late. Yeah, I wanted to do Tomoyo and then do Tomoyo right afterwards. But again, just didn't get to it. Anyhow, it's getting late. My tush is super tired. So I'm gonna call it for the night. It was a lot of fun though. Really love the outpour of support on the YouTubes. I might just for going forward just do YouTube. I'm not entirely sure. I guess it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm gonna end up doing anything like probably previews or something like that, I might still do them on Twitch, just because on Twitch I can actually play videos and not get striked. And usually with the previews it requires playing videos. But we'll see. It was a lot of fun over here. A lot of great show out, a lot of support, a lot of comments. It was a lot of fun talking to you guys. So I appreciate you guys. If I missed any comments, by the way, because sometimes the chat moved, you guys are free to hit me up on the Discord. Again, the links are in the description. If you go there, you can @me. You can even DM me on Twitter too. On Discord, hit me up. If I missed any comments or questions, please don't. Feel free to reach out. I'm always open to talk to people. It's only been 4 hours. Joe Rogan would laugh at me. If I was making as much as Joe Rogan, I would live through the pain. But yeah, I gotta get content put together for videos tomorrow. So you should bring something to drinks. Well, I do have a drink. I forget to drink. Thank you so much, Andrew. I really enjoyed the stream, learning about Taco Spirit and how it got started and all the love, respect. Look forward to next video and live stream. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I just don't drink in general. I always forget. But anyways, thank you guys. Y'all take care.